in the shadows of the darkness all around. Waiting and watching, trying to take us down. Haters gonna hate no matter what you do, but we ain't looking back now that we've made it through. Rising up, no stopping us. We're on our way. Doesn't matter what they try to do or say. We're just getting stronger. Can't touch us any longer. We're on our way. And tomorrow's always gonna be a brighter day.
What up, jerks? How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. I told you I'd be back. I'm just checking in. It's a little early. We're going to be streaming the Canton Select Board hearing today. I wonder how many of you from Facebook are going to be here. Quite a few were watching today. The trial today that we were airing, the Clancy trial. Quite a few of you were watching on Facebook. I was surprised more on Facebook than YouTube today, which was wild to see. It's good to see some of the people checking us out on Facebook. So if you're new, definitely like and subscribe, follow. You can also check us out on YouTube if you want to join the chat. Tonight, we're going to be airing the Canton Select Board. We do that every other Tuesday. I don't know for how much longer because it's starting to get boring, I got to say. Like tonight, I'm not even sure if there'll be anything worth televising in terms of public comment. We'll see. We're also going to jump over to Stoughton, see what's going on in Stoughton, because there's a big select board hearing over there. Last time there was quite a few people showed up, so we'll see what happens tonight over in Stoughton. We're going to be covering it all tonight. Why not, right? Why not just check it out and see what's going on at these public hearings? Right now I'm looking up for Stoughton Community Television. So we have them both lined up, ready to go tonight. What is everyone doing? Everyone want to talk about anything? Any questions? Some of you probably saw me on James' show last night. I don't even really have too much comments on that. It was what it was. Hope James is doing good. Some of these people are complete dirtbags out there, unfortunately. Yeah, so we're just checking in. We're waiting to see what's going on in both these towns, Canton and Stoughton tonight. Here we go, Stoughton TV website. We have that up as well. So we're ready to go. We're just waiting. We're waiting for everything to kick off tonight. It's going to be at 7:20 is when Stoughton starts. So we're gonna be hanging with the Canton Select Board for a few minutes, and then we'll switch over at 7:20. Is what we're gonna do tonight. Looks like not as many people here tonight. I'm not sure. People maybe like me, not as much interest in Canton Select Board meetings anymore. It's not as exciting. No Chris Albert, not a lot of public comment. We'll see, though. We'll check it out. Is James and JFK okay or not? I have no idea, actually. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't think JFK actually even said anything about it last night on his show. I don't think so. But some of those clowns had a lot to say. Some of the clowns had a lot to say afterwards. The people who definitely don't care about James except to try to take advantage of the situation. Funny. Everything's a pawn and a con with a lot of these people. A bunch of weirdos, actually. It's funny how weird some of these people are. All right, looks like Canton Select Board meeting is about to start here, so we're going to jump over there and bring it up right now, and I'll shut up and we'll just check this out. We'll check it out. I don't know if I want to deal with the losers tonight or even talk about the losers. We'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll save that for another night. But let's check out and see what's going on in Canton Select Board. Yeah, that's exactly it. They have no lives outside of the internet. Losers. Sheila, you got them clocked. You have them clocked. I mean, I thought it was hilarious that guy, Val. He couldn't wait to get up on his show and talk about being on a show with me. He's like, and Nan knew who he was. That was like, he was so fucking proud. Oh, I guess somebody knows who I am. Like, bro, you're fucking blowing your shit up. You're showing exactly who you are. It was funny. It was funny. Hi, Nan. Good to see you, Nan. Nan gets them triggered. They can't deal with Nan. It's unbelievable how easily triggered these small men are. And then some of these women who are very jealous of Nan, they get so worked up about Nan. See that a lot. Nan says, yeah, I know who he is, which is a loser. Exactly. He got so excited that you knew who he was. I mean, that just shows you what these people are about. They just want to be known. They just want to be recognized. They want someone to pay attention to them. Anybody, please, Nan, please pay attention to me. It's a lot of desperation. They are so desperate for friends. It's weird. No backbone. Doesn't even know what's going on. But he's just there for his friends causing drama. That's exactly what was going on in James' show last night when he opened up the panel. Salty Girl, thank you coming through with 200 joules. She's jamming tonight. Thank you so much, Salty Girl. Is that Rhode Island, Salty Girl? Are you Rhode Island, Salty Girl? I love Rhode Island, and I do like salty girls. I don't like salty dudes. I don't mind the salty girls, though. All right, let's watch. I'll quiet down.
All right,
I'll
everyone.
see you in a
Good
bit.
evening.
I'll see you.
Welcome to the Select Board meeting for Tuesday, August 11th, 2026, at 7 o'clock in the Sala Meeting Room, Memorial Hall, 801 Washington Street in Canton. First up, we're going to have public comment. I'm going to read the statement that I read every week. The public comment portion of the meeting is an opportunity to listen to the residents' feedback and concerns, but the public comment portion of the meeting is not meant to be a question and answer format. There will be no response to any public comment when presented. The public comment portion of the meeting is limited to 15 minutes total and 3 minutes per speaker. I would encourage those that do wish to speak to be mindful of others in the room who wish to do the same, so that we can make the most of the time allotted and hear from as many people as possible. Anyone who does not wish to speak or who is unable to speak due to the time limit may submit their comments in writing for the board's review and consideration. All right, welcome.
Hi, Deborah Keegan, 16 Roberts Road. I'd like to take this opportunity to address some of the misinformation out there regarding pickleball. We do not support a project that would cost the town over $2 million, but we are and will continue to support the construction of permanent courts within our town. We've been waiting for permanent courts since 2017, so please make this the year that we're moving in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? All right.
Hi, I'm here from Wentworth Road, and I'm here to...
Could you state your name?
Oh, Erica Woodbury. I'm here to talk about the speed issues through that way, and to hopefully work towards limiting the speed limit from 25 to 20 miles per hour.
Thank you.
Pat Cohen, One Revolution Way in Canton. And I don't know if this is the right time to support declaring Revolution Way as a safety zone. Is that time to do that?
You can comment on that now.
Okay, I
Sure.
strongly support designating Revolution Way as a safety zone. This is a new road, and people are increasingly discovering it as a cut-through. That means the traffic is growing as more drivers learn that they can use it to get either from Revere to Neponset or Neponset to Revere. And I've been there since the buildings were built. The changes that have occurred over the last 5 or 6 years is astounding. It's not an ordinary residential road. It passes a children's museum, a swimming pool, senior housing, 4 pedestrian crosswalks. 2 of those crossings are particularly concerning because they're not on a straightaway. Drivers don't see that crosswalk until they come around the curve, and then it's too late to stop. They don't see the pedestrians until they're so very close, and when they're traveling at a high speed, they can't stop quickly. We shouldn't wait for someone to be seriously injured before recognizing the risk. The purpose of a safety zone is to anticipate a developing safety problem and protect pedestrians before they're in a tragedy. And when I say pedestrians, I'm talking about elderly, families with baby strollers, dog walkers, anybody just out for a jog. A lot of people use that area. So I urge the Select Board to designate Revolution Way as a safety zone. There may even be more suggestions I would have as we recognize it as a safety zone. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are going to allow conversation when you discuss the safety zones, right?
Yes.
But,
Yes, sir. Okay, that's it for public comment then. Am I right? Okay. Mr. Clerk.
Madam Chair, I just want to make a statement before our first agenda item, which is the public hearings on what we're talking about now. The town has adopted the Municipal Modernization Act, including Mass General Law, Chapter 90, subsection 18B, which gives the Select Board the authority to establish a designated safety zone when it determines that doing so is in the interest of public safety. A safety zone establishes a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit within a defined area. Mass DOT guidance identifies parks and playgrounds as examples of land uses that are likely to generate vulnerable road users and are appropriate locations to consider when evaluating the establishment of a safety zone in the interest of public safety. Both the Wentworth Road neighborhood and the Revolutionary Way area meet these criteria. The purpose of tonight's public meeting is to hear from residents and consider whether the Select Board should establish safety zones in either or both of these areas. That being said, the Select Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, August 11th, 2026, on or after 7 p.m. in the Sala Meeting Room, 2nd floor, Memorial Hall, 801 Washington Street, Canton. The purpose of the hearing is to discuss a proposed amendment to the Town of Canton traffic rules and regulations by designating Wentworth Road, Ridge Hill Road, Tilden Road, and Talbot Road as safety zone and reducing the speed limit on those roadways to 20 miles per hour. I move that the board open the public hearing.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0. All right. Does anyone wish to be heard on this? Mr. McCarthy.
Very much. David McCarthy, Canton, Mass. Couple of comments regarding this specifically, and then just some general comments in as it relates to speed and traffic in the community. First of all, thank you for considering making this street and all those streets in the Ridge Hill neighborhood. I live on Ridge Hill, a safety zone. I think it's an important step forward in that neighborhood, considering what we, for lack of a better term, tolerate. Unfortunately, as you know, that neighborhood has tried to get speed humps and unfortunately failed, I think, unnecessarily, considering the number of homes, and only one neighbor wasn't excited about the speed humps, but we weren't given the speed humps then. I still think the town should consider speed humps for future roads, our road, other roads in the community. But I want to speak specifically to the safety zone. I think it's an important factor. We are right abutting a playground and school zone, and I think it's an important thing for us to add as a community. As someone who's lived on one of the streets for about 11 years now, I can fully attest to you that cars in a speed limit that is 25 while our street is not long and it has a sharp bend, can easily be doing 40 some days. And it's shocking when you see them because of what you recognize in the street. We are a street with approximately, I was trying to add up the kids this morning, probably about 12 under the age of 13 on the street. So there's plenty of activity. But I do want to make a comment, because I did speak to someone earlier today and made a comment on it. And oddly enough, I was coming home from getting something on 138, and there was a police officer sitting at the corner of Wentworth and Ridge Hill Road. There has been a very increased activity of police officers issuing tickets. It feels like tickets. Happened to see somebody when we were coming down Washington Street as well, but they were pulled over by a police officer. So kudos to Chief Daniels for picking up the pace on that, because sadly, I'm one of the ones that probably believes that the only way we're going to curtail the problem is by making it a fine. But I do want to continue on and just make a couple of other quick comments. Because of my role, and some people obviously don't know my role on the planning board, we hear about traffic all the time. You could build one house and people want to bring up traffic. Traffic is a problem in Canton. It could be speed in the traffic, or it could just be plain traffic. There's a lot of reasons why we've summarized what people believe that there's traffic that may or may not be factual. You know, that's all open for interpretation. I know the town has a traffic study out, and someday, hopefully, because we've been talking about it for years, the final version of the traffic study will be issued, and we'll have maybe a little better understanding of what is causing it. But Canton, in my opinion, somebody who's on the planning board, and somebody who, and I say this often, drives, and as many people do, and every other town around here, they have speed humps. We've got to be open to speed humps. Speed humps can be on roads that we're really shocked, and you think, I would never put one. They can go there. You drive through many other towns, Newton, Brookline, Needham, Dedham, they all have them. We've got to move forward on that. That will make us a better, safer community. Cars will slow down for them. More crosswalks. Make crosswalks available. Today, I say it almost every time I drive through the center. There is a section of Washington Street that you could drive no matter what time of day it is. Somebody is walking in the middle of the road. Put a crosswalk there. It's obviously a spot that we're never going to get people to walk to the crosswalks. By the way, I'm guilty of that. You know, I'm not trying to profess that I'm perfect on this stuff, believe me. But we gotta consider adding them. Don't block the box. Please, why is this town so adverse to things like that? They're in other communities. Are they perfect? No. Do they help? Yes. Now, some of the intersections are state roads, and that's a different conversation with different people, but you guys can lead that cause. But there are intersections in Canton that people sit through. Driving here tonight, sitting through the intersection, whether it be at Dedham or at Dedham, specifically Dedham, or at Pleasant Street, there's always people blocking the intersection. That causes more traffic. It causes the congestion. So please take a better look at that. Last thing I wanted to say, better signage. Something people don't understand, and I've only because of this coming up for Ridge Hill, safety zones. Safety zones are a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. I bet 90% of the people who live in this town who drive down Washington Street every day of the week don't realize that it's not a school zone on Washington Street at Pecunit. It is actually a safety zone. It's 20 miles an hour, 24/7, not just when school buses are letting people on and off. We need to do better signage on that. I happen to live on Ridge Hill, as I said. I have argued and fought for better signage on Wentworth for the lousy sign that says no turning from 7 to 9. Trust me, you can barely read the letters. Some reason or another, the town doesn't like putting up signs, and I'll say this again, go to Sharon, go to Milton. The signs in Milton are big, bright, and bold. Stop, slow down, whatever the reason for them, they're there so the community sees them and people actually react to them. Carried on, I appreciate it, but we've got to do something, make the town a better place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alan Rappaport, 5 Ridge Hill, much shorter speaker. So driving to tonight's meeting, the car in front of me went right through the yellow light, right through the red light on Washington Street, car behind me, a little bit annoyed because I'm going the speed limit. When it came to Dedham Street, red light, took the right on the red without stopping. All within 2 minutes, 2 flagrant violations. It's just rampant in this town, so I highly support slowing down the traffic on Revolution, for Ridge Hill, all those streets. But we need to talk to the police about more enforcement. It is just stunning the number of people who just disobey the rules. It's the wild, wild west, I say, in Canton when it comes to transportation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Barbara Panchera, Canton, Mass. I'd like to stand in support of both the speed humps and the safety zone. My daughter lives on the corner of Ridge Hill in Wentworth, and you take your life in your hands crossing that street. People don't stop at the stop sign, and I agree. I'm happy to see the police sitting there. I live off of Dedham. Dedham Street has become a freeway. Even with the light, which is a school zone, you press the light, and people see it as, oh no, the light's going to turn red, and they speed through that light. I have almost been hit with a double stroller on multiple occasions. People are not looking up, they're looking at their phone. I put in traffic concerns. I'd really appreciate a police presence, more of a police presence on Dedham Street as well, but I highly support these safety zones. We need to slow people down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy Cohen, 60 Coppersmith Way. I just want to support everyone getting the speed limit down to 20 miles on Revolutionary Way. And my concern when I came here was, how are you going to do that? I support the speed bumps. Thank you.
Does anyone else want to be heard? Okay.
Madam Chair, I move the board close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
You want to have a discussion?
Yeah, do we want to discuss? Do we need to discuss? I will just say one thing. This is kind of, changing these speed limits is sort of the low-hanging fruit of the traffic problem. We are waiting for that long-awaited traffic study to be finalized. That will open up perhaps some other avenues, if you'll pardon the pun, for us, but this is something we wanted to get done sooner than later tonight, and that's our mission tonight. And anyway, sorry to step on you.
No. I was just, obviously, I'm in favor of lowering the speed limit in all of those locations. I'm happy that police has stepped up the enforcement, because that's another big issue that we need to do to help slow the traffic, but 100% in favor of both of these.
Okay.
I'm in favor of the enforcement, but also the bigger, brighter signage and the speed bumps. They work.
I think this is a good step in the right direction. I think that the chief is well aware of the infractions that are going on in the community. He is trying to address it with the force he has. He's pretty on it, and I think you'll see more of it as the force gets enlarged, which we really want. So I'm definitely in favor of this particular.
I too am in favor of it, and I appreciate everyone coming up and speaking out about it. I think it's one of those things that we have to be kind of loud about, because it's safety, and all the ways that we can keep people safe are really important. So thank you for coming today.
All right.
With that said, Madam Chair, I move the board designate Wentworth Road, Ridge Hill Road, Tilden Road, and Talbot Road as safety zones and reduce the speed limit on those roadways to 20 miles per hour.
A second.
Any discussion? Seeing none? All
Hold
in
on,
favor?
Madam Chair, just 1 second.
Oh.
This is just one hearing, okay? I know what you're getting at. It's coming next.
It's coming
It's
next.
coming next, okay? Sorry, Madam Chair.
That's quite all right. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
That's 5-0.
Madam Chair, next, the Select Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, August 11th, 2026, on or after 7 p.m. in the Sala Meeting Room, second floor, Memorial Hall, 801 Washington Street, Canton. The purpose of the hearing is to discuss a proposed amendment to the Town of Canton traffic rules and regulations by designating Revolutionary Way as a safety zone and reducing the speed limit on those roadways to 20 miles per hour.
Second.
All
I move that the board open the public hearing, sorry.
Now you second.
Not second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0.
5-0.
All right, anyone want to make comment? Ms. Cohen?
What's the name of the street?
Revolutionary,
Revolution Way.
Revolution Way. Okay? Sorry, what did I say? Revolutionary? Yeah, okay. Revolution Way, sorry.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Nope.
Oh, we gotta,
Nope, nope.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Public hearing.
Oh, close public, thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Yep,
Second.
all right. Is any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. And we're, so yes, right here. I move that the board designate Revolution Way as a safety zone and reducing the speed limit on those roadways to 20 miles per hour.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. That's 5-0.
That's good.
All right.
Next on the agenda, we have a library update from Library Director Andrea Capel.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Bounce out of there. The sound was a little wonky tonight at the Canton Select Board. We're waiting for Stoughton Select Board to start any minute now. Not very exciting over in Canton tonight, that's for sure. Hopefully, I think Stoughton might be a little more excitement. Hopefully better sound too. Hopefully the sound isn't wonky. Usually Canton had pretty good sound quality, but it's a little wonky tonight. I don't know if it's our feed. Sometimes you know, YouTube has issues, but it doesn't seem like YouTube because it was coming through our system here too. So it seems like more maybe something going on with their internet. I don't know. So we're waiting for the Canton. Well, we just watched Canton. We're waiting for Stoughton Select Board to start. Yeah, that crackle. It was bugging me. That's why I was like, let's get this thing off as soon as possible. Nothing going on over here. They covered the police stuff. They had some public comment. Nothing exciting. And now we're over in Stoughton, and they're supposed to start right at 7:20. It's just about 7:21 now. So we're like a minute late. We're waiting to see what happens. Waiting for this thing to start up. I don't know if you have any comments or questions tonight. I'll put this on the screen right now. Too, if you want to kick in money through Venmo or Cash App, you got it scrolling across the screen. You can definitely do that. Support us over here. We also love our super chats always. We get a lot of those lately. Thank you so much, everybody. Especially yesterday, we had quite a few. Thank you so much. We also had some Canton residents watching tonight. Like Kathy. And now we're waiting for what's going to happen over in Stoughton, Mass. We're just waiting for them to kick this thing off. What's up in Stoughton tonight? I want to thank Rhode Island Salty Girl, R.I. Salty Girl. Thank you so much for the jewels tonight. Jamming. She's jamming. A couple minutes later over there. Hmm. Come on, let's get this going. Get me off the screen. I don't have much to talk about tonight. What do you want to talk about tonight, folks? Anything you want to know from me? Anything going on YouTube? What's going on the YouTube streets? Anything exciting happening tonight? Any drama? Who's fighting now? If you notice, I'm wearing a hat all the time. I always have a Boston hat. It's because I got bullied. I got bullied by a fart joke comedian. I've been so bullied. I have to wear a B hat now or a Boston hat. Now you sent me a DM. I'll check that out. Why not? Give me something to do. You have. I know Vic's got real life to focus on. We're not going to comment on that, Sheila, unless we see something official. Not really. I don't know. Really, not really that important. Anyways, thanks for letting me know. I already saw about that today. You'd like to know my thoughts? Hmm, that's interesting. I mean, it just, I just didn't get that stream last night. I just didn't get it, honestly. Like, you let this dude up and he bashes your best friend. Like, why? Why? I don't know. Is he trolling? I don't know. I didn't get, I'm trying to be supportive to James on it because I feel like he's been through a lot. And I get it. I get it. But at the same time, I just didn't get that stream last night. And honestly, of course, the asshole's going to come up and try to take advantage of it. I guess what it was most surprising is how much of an a-hole that dude is, Val. He acts so chill. Like I actually didn't think he was a bad guy until I saw what he did last night. He said he saw me. Dude, I saw you very clearly last night, bro. Saw you very clearly last night. I'm glad it's funny because he said he saw me. Yeah, you saw me sticking up for people that I actually know and respect. And what were you doing last night, bro? You were there to cause drama. So there you go. We saw him. He said it's so funny because some people are sending me links to what he said in the chat. They're like, is that a threat? Like that kid, that dude can't threaten me. Who the fuck is he? I don't take it as a threat. I just take it as he's a fucking jackass. And then he's up on. I saw one of the clip. He's calling us cucks. Like, dude, you're fucking sitting in your fucking basement somewhere calling us cucks. You've never met us in real life. You've never sat across from us, looked in our eyes. You know nothing. You call me a cuck, clown. This is a guy who got up on a show last night and then admitted he didn't know anything about the people he was talking about until just the last couple weeks. Clown. One of the first things he said is he didn't have a side, and then at the end he admitted he had a side. I mean, not good at this shit. They're not good at this. Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do, is trying to take advantage of James. I don't think it's going to work, though. I think all of us get a little too worried about James. I think James is going to be fine. James knows the game. James is playing a game with these folks. I'm not playing games. I'm not in this for games. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm at the point where I just don't give a fuck. So I'm just going to tell everyone straight up how I feel and what I see and what I know, always now. And wherever it falls, I don't give a shit. Because I just don't give a fuck anymore. I'm at that point. And there's nothing they can do or say to me that's going to hurt me. So we're still waiting for this hearing to start. 7 minutes late already. 8 minutes late. What's going on in Stoughton? Is there such a big crowd that they don't want to start? They're still trying to get people seated. Is there drama? Are they in executive session? I want to know, is anyone over there? What is going on? They're an 8 minutes late already. Yes, Chimmy's someone who came on the show. She's a woman. She's an artist. She's also like a chef, a cook, and she's been in JFK's chat, but she's also been on the show. He brought her up on the show a few times, and she does talk on there. I like her. She's also been on my show before as a caller, I believe, maybe a guest. But yes, she does have her own YouTube channel. I was watching that today, actually. Chimmy Speaks is the YouTube channel if you want to find it. I like Chimmy. She seems very nice, and I like her voice. And I like her kind of spirit and the way, like, she thinks about things. She's wise. She's very soulful. I think she reads a lot of books too, I'm guessing. Just you can kind of tell the people who read books and the people who don't. Let's just put it that way. And you can tell she's a learner, like a student of the world. Some people are students of the world and some people are not. And she seems like she's one of those students of the world where she's constantly trying to learn things and better herself, which I like. I think we all need to be around people like that. That's why I like to watch her channel actually and support her, because it's good for me. Like, I think that's one thing some of the audience needs to start realizing and recognizing. If you're polluting your mind with the shitty people on YouTube that you're watching, that's hurting you. That is hurting you. What are you learning? How are you growing? How does it make you feel? It's one of the reasons I like watching JFK. He makes you think, always. The Ruthie. God damn, we're how many minutes late are we? We're 10 minutes late, Stoughton. What is going on? Should I refresh this and see if we're missing anything? I have it on 2 channels, actually, just to double check. God damn, it's not on. What is going on, Stoughton? You said 7:20. It's now almost 7:31. This happened last time, too, didn't it? Really quality city town government over here. They keep their residents waiting. Here we go. All right, I'm going to get out of here. It said 7:20 on the...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't hear you.
Got to get them up real close now. Good evening, everybody. We are here for the Select Board meeting Tuesday, August 11th, 7:30 p.m. at Great Hall, 10 Pearl Street, 3rd floor, Stoughton. That's as close as I can get it without swallowing it, Peter, okay? So we are here tonight for the meeting. We have it virtually in Google Meets in accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025. I'll read it this way better. Okay. The Act of 2025, which extends the Governor's March 12, 2020 order, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until June 30th, 2027. This meeting will be conducted both in person and virtually over Google Meets. The address of Google Meets is on the agenda, also the telephone number and the PIN. This meeting will be recorded by Smack Cable Television and broadcast live and may be live streamed at www.stoughtontv.com. A recording of the meeting, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceeding will be posted on the town's website and/or Smack as soon as possible after the meeting if the live broadcast or live streaming is unsuccessful. Times are appropriate and items may be taken out of order by the chair. I'd entertain a motion to open the meeting.
So made.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
And the chair votes in favor. So I will read, as we did at our last meeting,
Do you want to say the pledge?
in regards to citizens, I'm sorry, yes. If you're able and can stand, please join us in saluting our flag.
Okay, whatever that was. The pledge.
United States of America.
Excuse me, this is Dolores, Mr. McCrisky.
Dolores, yes.
Mr. McCrisky,
Go ahead, Dolores.
we have no sound.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's see what we can do to get that rectified.
Now I hear you, yes. I heard nothing until just now.
Okay, let's see if,
Testing, testing. Dolores, can you hear me? I can hear you. Great. We didn't hear the beginning of the meeting.
okay. I guess we're all set now then.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so before we begin the citizens' comments, I'd like to remind everyone of the state of some ground rules. We mentioned this in the past. As the chair, I'd like to just voice the preface before we get going. There is no law that requires a public meeting to have a public comment period, but it has been long-standing tradition in Stoughton, and it will continue. Citizens' comment is limited to a forum to comment on topics within the board's jurisdictions and not otherwise listed on the board's agenda. To ensure compliance with the open meeting law and the privacy laws and other legal obligations, board members will not engage or speak with the others during the citizens' comments. The board may not deliberate on a topic that is not listed on the agenda item, even if it was brought up during citizens' comments. The Select Board can establish reasonable time, place, and manner for the restrictions of the public comments to keep the meeting orderly. All comments shall be addressed through the chair or the acting chair of the board. I'll try to give everyone the time they need to have a full agenda, and we always ask that the speaker to limit their comments to 2 minutes for the citizens' comments, and we will not exceed 1/2 hour for today's meeting. While public comments are not required to pertain to the agenda item, such comments must pertain to the matter within the board's public jurisdiction. Public comments on matters outside the board's or this body's jurisdiction cannot be permitted. The following comments shall likewise not be permitted: threats, incitement, imminent lawless conduct, obscenities, personal attacks, defamatory statements, and sexual explicit statements. I encourage speakers to present their remarks in a respectful manner and to refrain from verbal attacks on the character or motives of members of the boards, town staff, or other citizens that are in this meeting here tonight. The chair shall provide at least one verbal warning to a speaker if they make a disruptive comment or engage in disruptive conduct. If at least one verbal warning, the speaker persists in making disruptive comments or engaging in disruptive conduct, the chair may end that person's privilege and address that meeting. Thank you very much. So let's proceed. And whoever would like to get up, we'll keep with our orderly fashion of 2 minutes.
Good evening, Lisa Lyons, Precinct 2. So, Mr. Chair and members of the Select Board, has the town hired an investigator? Can the public get access to who the investigator is and how much taxpayers are paying for this process? Are there 2 separate investigators? We are frustrated that the Board of Selectmen have 2 people on administrative leave, costing the town and taxpayers significantly. Do you have a date when the process will be complete? In the interest of transparency, the citizens of this town deserve answers to these questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. David Lurie, 18 Robinette Road. I'd like to just say that going from July 28th, it was on July 28th that both the town manager, Coulter, as well as the chief of police, Donna McNamara, were put on leave for an investigation. On the next day, you have a duty to make sure that the deputy chief has a green light to be able to pursue all of the requirements that were on Donna's shoulders while she was here. So I would expect leadership to come out of this board instead of any kind of, let's bury our heads in the sand and become craven over this. Yes, I do watch House of Dragons. I learned that term. The fact is that 2 days after the two were put on leave, Mr. Coulter went on the news and interviewed and stated that he had nothing to do with tearing up a report about Sandra Birchmore. If that's true, then there's a report out there that should be pursued by the deputy chief, because you have a responsibility to keep the town running. And that investigation on Sandra's behalf, because she deserves justice, is with court cases that are pending in just less than 3 months from now. I expect that this board is going to take full responsibility to make sure that the deputy chief has a green light to be able to pursue all of the information that Donna left behind with a report that was going to open an investigation to help the authorities figure out what the truth is behind that murder. So I would expect that if there's no action, that's a reflection on your board as to whether or not you guys are thinking about leadership and running the town after this investigation, because that's business that's in front of us now. That is business. Thank you.
Good evening, Peter Van Frisco. Around July 4th, Tom Coulter did. He relieved Donna Mack over duties, and around, with your blessing, and around July 14, you renewed Mr. Coulter's contract with the blessing, your blessing, that he got rid of one of the best chiefs we ever had, which is wrong. And you renewed his contract, and it's been a month, and the minutes of that contract haven't been released, and apparently you're holding it back because I don't think you want it released, and I'm asking for the ones that didn't go along and sign that contract, to renew his contract, which is all man up and stand up right here in front of everybody to say you didn't sign this contract right now. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tammy. I live on Highland Street, Precinct 4. Chairman McCrisky, can you confirm whether the town already had Chief McNamara under investigation prior to the chief's placement on administrative leave? It is my understanding that Tom Coulter hired an investigator to investigate Chief McNamara prior to the Board of Select vote in executive session. It is also clear to the residents of Stoughton that you have significant bias regarding your son working for Mr. Coulter. You must step down from any oversight of the investigations involving the town manager and chief. You cannot and should not have anything to do with choosing investigators and/or any supervision of the investigation. I am asking for a neutral municipal entity having an outside authority make that selection. No one employed by the town of Stoughton should be overseeing this investigation. And as a citizen of Stoughton, I urge you to do the right thing and step away now and provide independent administration of this investigation. Thank you.
Hi, Peggy DiNatale, Precinct 5, meeting representative. I understand you're not going to answer questions right now, but I really hope that you give the benefit to all the citizens here tonight and those listening to respond to our questions on your agenda item that says Select Board comments. We need transparency here, number one. I echo the sentiments if we want to know the name of the company conducting the independent investigation, the scope of their work, when they are starting, and when are they expected to have a report. Number two, there's lots of comments going around that the complaint, the alleged complaint against Chief McNamara was solicited and that an employee did not come forward and file that complaint. So we'd like to know that as well. And as you know, there's plenty of stuff that can be on Facebook, some of it true, some of it not. We rely on you people to let us know what is true and what is not. Silence makes us all suspicious, and then we'll believe what we want to believe. So you need to set the record straight, and I urge you to address these issues in your agenda item here, Select Board comments. Thank you.
Good evening. Oh, sorry. Michael LaFleur, Precinct 8. In 2016, when this board unanimously approved Donna McNamara's contract as Chief of Police, the late, great Stoughton resident and Select Board member David Spanky Souza said, "We wish you the utmost respect and good luck in taking care of our town." So I ask you tonight, can we honestly say that we have shown the first female Chief of Police in Stoughton's history the utmost respect? Can we honestly say that we have given Donna McNamara, with an unembellished record in 25 years of devoted service to this community, the utmost respect? I sit here tonight and say that I don't think we have. I understand that being a Select Board member can be a difficult job. And while I may not agree with every decision you have made over the years, I appreciate your service to this town. I understand the frustrations, the concerns, and the anger directed toward this board. Some deserved, and some perhaps not. I voted for all of you because I believe what you wanted was best for Stoughton. And sadly, my friends, this is not what is best for Stoughton. What's best for Stoughton, in my opinion, is to fire the town manager and reinstate Donna McNamara as our Chief of Police. Thank you.
Jonna Rosenblatt, Precinct 7. Is it good governance to renew someone's contract when you're aware that there's potential issues with someone like the Chief of Police? Is that good governance? No answer?
This is citizens' comments section. It's not a debate.
Okay. Well, I would like to know, as well as everyone else here, who would have signed this contract for Tom knowing that there was an issue here? Are any of you going to speak up or mention anything or say anything? Nobody's got anything to say?
This is citizens' comments. It's the opportunity of this meeting for the citizens to speak and have their voices heard.
Well, we'll be finding out soon. You don't want to have transparency? I mean, you don't want to say anything? What? It was all of them, except for one? Okay, well, I guess we'll find out.
Heather Everett McGinley, Precinct 5. So today it's come out that the Stoughton Stoughton Fire Department, as well as the Department of Public Works, have both voted no confidence on Tom Coulter. If we expect these people to be happy working for the town, they're the backbones of this town. How is it that you guys can approve of having this man run this town when we don't even have the people that we trust with our lives, with our everyday lives, being supported by this man? It's time to get rid of Coulter. It's time to reinstate Donna McNamara, and it's time to put Stoughton back in a good light again, instead of the negative lights that we seem to constantly be under. Thank you.
Is there anybody at home that would like to be heard on citizens' comments? Hearing none?
I'm actually talking about something else,
Hello, everybody. Mike Monty in Precinct 4. Originally from Braintree, moved to this town 26 years ago. It hasn't been an easy move. It seems like every couple of years this town is in absolute chaos. Nothing is run right here. And it's a sad, everywhere. I'm a retired law enforcement, not from this town. Every other law enforcement department you go to, they all badmouth Stoughton. It can never be run right. There's always issues going on. I know you can't answer some questions, and I know it's a comment, but from my understanding is there was a higher up in the department came to you people with a report saying you didn't feel like he was being heard, or he had a lot of complaints with Donna McNamara. One of her deputy chiefs came forward and said that. Now, obviously, legal reasons you can't say whether he did or not. That needs to be investigated also, and that needs to be transparent. We have allowed this little incident from when he came forward to absolutely destroy the town of Stoughton once again. So there's things that you can say, there's things that you can come out and say. You have attorneys, the taxpayers pay a lot for these attorneys, but you also have to hear the person that came forward and said the first issue that he had, and that's what this has caused. I mean, Tom Coulter's done nothing for this town, we all know. He's screwing with our trash. No, if anyone knows Stoughton, you don't screw with the trash in Stoughton, I'm sorry. I don't even have a Facebook account. I don't believe any of the Facebooks. It's now become a back and forth. It's now going to be a he said, she said. You guys are going to get nowhere. It's a sad state of affairs in this town. It really is. I would love to see this town become a city, have one mayor. I think that's, well, I'm telling you, it hasn't been run right in 25 years, so something needs to be done. I know it's a, but something has to happen. I'm not up here to slander you, throw anything towards you or anything like that, but like I said, I've been here 25 years, and this is an absolute disgrace. Everybody should be ashamed of themselves on this board. You have to come out and you have to say something. And I've known Donna. I worked at the old Norfolk County Sheriff's Office with Donna a long time ago. I worked with her. My issue also, too, is I know the fire department came out. I know that the public works department came out, but where are the police department unions? They've been very quiet. Wouldn't it be nice to hear from them? They're the ones that actually work for Donna McNamara. Why haven't we heard from them? Are they being silenced? Are they being afraid of retaliation? Are they being afraid that if Tom Coulter walks back in, they'll be, So these are all questions that can somewhat be answered here. But this is an absolute disgrace again. We're embarrassed again to be Stoughtonites. Where someone you run into from a different town is turning around and saying, oh, something else happened in Stoughton again. Here we go again. Here's the lawn signs again. Standing out in Stoughton Center. Here we go. Unfortunately, and I say the thing about them, and I know a lot of people obviously don't want to be a city or a mayor or anything like that, but something has to change. And I look at the people sitting in front of me. You've all done this 4, 5, 6, 7 times, other than obviously you, ma'am. I understand that. You're all the same people. You leave for a couple of years, you come back. You leave for a few years, you come back. I don't know how to change it, other than becoming a city and bringing a mayor in. I don't know how to change it. There's no other saying it. We're going to get down the path of a recall again, because we've been down that path. We've done all that again. So I think this started where there was a report filed, and I think that person who filed that report, you start there. And I know legally you can't say anything because all the attorneys are involved and all this, but it's just an ugly place to live in again. I'm sorry. I feel bad for Donna. I feel bad for the person that come forward that felt like he was being harassed. But here we go again. Yeah. So now it's tied. So it's now she doesn't like me because I'm speaking the truth. But so it is what it is.
Honesty and integrity.
Anybody else? Christine?
Hi, I'm Christine Iacobucci. I'm actually here from the library on a very different topic, and I don't even know if tonight's the right night, but I'm just here to talk about an initiative that you may remember we did last year called Show Your Card and Save. It's for Library Card Sign-Up Month, and we're doing it again. September's Library Card Sign-Up Month, and we're just looking for businesses to partner with us. Again, maybe it's good, there's a lot of people here, and maybe I'll get some businesses to partner, but last year we had 10 businesses. They did incentives such as 10% off at Stoughton Bakery, $3 off at Pearl Street Nutrition, things like that. And so I just wanted to say to the residents at home or the residents here, if you know a local business or you own a local business and you want to help us celebrate Library Card Sign-Up Month, please reach out to me. There's a lot of marketing opportunities for the business, and you can reach me at the library by phone, or you can email me. I'll leave the flyers up here, but because nobody is going to be able to spell my name, and my email is my last name. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anybody at home that would like to be heard before we close citizens' comments?
Yes.
Okay, could you please identify yourself for the record?
Yes, good evening. Thank you. Marina Ryans, Precinct 7. We all know that Select Board member Steve Cavey is running for the state representative. In one of his campaign pictures and speeches, he said that Tom Coulter is his mentor. Is there a potential conflict of interest? We would love Steve Cavey to step down just to make sure that the investigation is impartial and in no favor towards Tom Coulter. Thank you very much.
Okay. Peter?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to kind of summarize what's been going on in this whole issue. One of the things that people look at in all aspects of life is a thing called your character, what people think of you, okay? All I want to do is summarize the things that we're looking at. I mentioned last meeting about we hear the word integrity, and we hear the word trust, and we hear the word transparency, all right? If you're honest and you have integrity and you always are forthright and you say the right thing, everything should be right. And unfortunately, this is just blown into this madness. And he said, she said, and all that. I'm not on Facebook either, because all you do is, if you have something to say it to someone's face. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, with that, excuse me, we'll declare citizens' comment closed. And before we get on to our meeting agenda and the Select Board's comments, I'd like to read a statement. The statement is announcing the hiring of the Edward Davis Company by the Stoughton Select Board for the purpose of conducting an independent investigation of allegations against the Stoughton Town Manager Tom Coulter and Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNamara. This is for immediate release. Today's date, and it is the Edward Davis, president of the Edward Davis Company, today announced that the Stoughton Select Board, chaired by Joseph McCrisky, has retained their firm to conduct an independent investigation of the allegations against Town Manager Tom Coulter and Police Chief Donna McNamara. The scope of this investigation is to determine relevant facts, assess credibility of available evidence, and determine whether the conduct alleged, if substantiated, constitutes a violation of applicable law, town policies, the town charter, employment agreements, ethical standards, or other applicable rules governing conduct of the town manager and police chief. Mr. Davis stated that he has been assured by the Select Board that this investigation is not subject to the direction, control of any town official with respect to the investigative methods, factual findings, credibility, determinations, or conclusions. Mr. Davis added that in addition to his participation in an independent investigation, that the team will include former federal and state high-ranking investigators who bring substantial experience to the Stoughton and the independent investigation. Upon conclusion of the independent investigation, the Edwards-Davids Company will submit a written report to the Select Board, including a summary of the investigative process, findings, fact-based on the evidence obtained, credibility assessments where appropriate, and conclusions as to whether the allegations are substantiated, unsubstantiated, unfounded, or inconclusive. Mr. Davis said he expects the independent investigation to take a minimum of 60 days, but the facts and evidence will determine the timing of that final report.
The name of the company again?
Edward Davis Company,
Edward, and where are they located?
Boston.
Thank you. When were they hired?
The contract was signed 2 days ago, so the Select Board hired him. Okay? Yes, we're going to keep, yes, there was. Okay? This is going to be very quickly, this is going to be the last one.
Okay. To me, for this thing to really favor to the microphone, discuss this to hire independent people from out of state.
Can't hear you, Peter.
Okay. Yeah.
These investigators should have been decided by the two lawyers to find somebody that both would agree on to be from out of state, that have no association with anybody in the state of Massachusetts. That would have been a more fair, because they know absolutely nobody. With what you guys have done, it's going to be biased one way or the other, and it's not going to be fair. That's my opinion, and I'm sure everybody in here will agree with me. It's going to be one way, and it's going to favor Tom Calder and you, Mr. McCrisky. Thank you.
Have a nice night. Okay, with that, we'll move to Select Board comments. Ms. Jakes, anything?
No, not tonight.
Vice Chair Roberts?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to recognize our police department. Our police department last week heard of a young resident in our community whose bike was stolen. Naturally, she was upset. But our department came together and made sure she had a new bike. Our officers showed understanding, compassion, and turned a bad situation better. We salute them for their outstanding community work. Thank you, Stoughton Police Department. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Carrara?
Thank you, Mr. McCrisky. Through you, Mr. McCrisky, to the acting town manager. Can you please supply the board with the contract for CMAS so that we know the date that's left on it and when we'll decide to get back into discussions with them and put this trash thing to bed?
Mr. Cavey?
No comments tonight, thank you.
Okay. All right. So acting, we got 2 votes to take. What we did take earlier in an executive session, but we're doing them in the open so that everybody knows that the vote was been taken, and it was mentioned earlier in the citizens' comments to name the acting police chief and the acting town manager in public session so that everybody knows that both these people are authorized by the board in these positions, as we are the appointing authority of both of those positions. So we'll name the acting as well and make it in open session. So with that, is there anybody that would like to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion to place Mr. Mark Tisdale in the acting position of town manager in all its duties that goes there with it.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All right, on the motion for the board, Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
And the chair votes in favor. Is there another motion? Another motion?
Mr. Chairman, at this time, we would appoint Deputy Chief O'Connor as acting police chief with its duties that goes with it.
Is there a second?
I'll second that, too.
All right, motion's made and seconded on the motion. Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
Chair votes in favor. So both the acting town manager has been appointed as Mark Tisdale. The acting police chief is Deputy Chief James O'Connor. Okay, with that, Mr. Tisdale, do you have any comments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you very much. I got two comments. Obviously, the first one's very sad. We feel really bad about the passing of the canine earlier this last week at Ames Pond. I want to give kudos to our Board of Health. They really reached out. The next day, put signs at the beach, educated the public. I think we put flyers out everywhere. They're doing training for all the lifeguards, all the staff on what these algae blooms are. The pond's tested for E. coli. That's based on the state requirements. So every week they go out there on Monday, they test the pond. But it's not required to test for algae blooms, which they don't usually occur the whole year. They'll occur roughly about this time of year, where it's hot, the water's not moving, not a lot of rain, things of that nature. So we've put educational flyers out. We put signs at the beach. Obviously, do not bring in dogs to the beach. Any pond, really. If you see any sort of staining colors, dark green, dark blue, dark brown, those would be algae blooms. So they're visual observations you can see in the pond. So there'll be more to come. We're also working with the state to come down weekly to do testing for the algae. And that's the update on that. Again, no problem. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. I feel really bad. Got a message from the clerk. In response to the townwide vote at the local election on April 24th, the town of Stoughton will transition into a single polling location beginning on September 1st, 2026. The new location is the Dr. Robert J. O'Donnell Middle School, 211 Cushing Street, Stoughton, Mass. If you have any questions, you can contact the clerk. 781-341-1300, extension 9224, or by email. There's other details on the website. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Tisdale, is the town clerk in the room regarding the annual warrant for the fall town meeting?
I don't believe the town clerk is in the room.
Is she online? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so we'll move that to our next meeting.
Mr. Chairman, this is the item is a standard vote that you take every year for the warrant for the
Okay,
primary.
well, I didn't see a warrant, and we usually vote that too. But do we have it here? It's just one page. Okay. But you let me, I'll just read it into the record if we're going to vote it.
It's for the primary election.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the notice is, greetings, in the name of the Commonwealth, you are hereby required to notify and warn the inhabitants of said city or town that qualified to vote in primaries, all precincts 1, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 4A, 5, 5A, 6, 7, 7A, 8, and 8A at the Robert G. O'Donnell Middle School, 211 Cushing Street, Stoughton, Mass. on Tuesday, the first day of September 2026, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the following purpose: to cast their vote for the state primaries and candidates of political parties in the offices for Senator in Congress, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State, Treasurer, Auditor, Representatives in Congress, Counselor, 2nd District, Senator in the General Court, Norfolk, Plymouth, Bristol District, Representative in the General Court, 6th District, Representative in the General Court, 8th District, District Attorney, Register of Probate, County Commissioners, and County Treasurer.
hereof fail not to make any return of this warrant in the doings and the time and the place said voting, and it's given on this 11th day of August 2026, it will be signed by the Select Board. So that is the warrant reading. Is there a motion to be made?
Motion to accept, Mr. Chairman.
Motion's made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. On the motion, Mr. Cavey?
Because I'm on the ballot, I abstain.
Okay. Mr. Carrara?
I'm going to abstain.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. It is 3-2 vote for passing.
3-0.
I'm sorry, 3-0. Yeah.
2 abstentions.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so there's that one. All right, is the treasurer here with us tonight? There she is. And we're here to authorize the issuance of a 10-year interest-free inflow and infiltration sewer bond pursuant to General Law, Chapter 40, Section 8, Paragraph 14. Votes may be taken. Paula Newt, good evening.
Good evening,
The
everyone.
floor is yours.
Thank you for having me at your meeting. So as you had mentioned, this is a 10-year interest-free $339,500 inflow and infiltration sewer bond. It is funded by the Mass Water Resources Authority, and the bond falls under Chapter 44, Section 18, subsection 14. And the documents before you, which include the Select Board vote, the certification, and the $339,500 bond, need to be signed by the majority of the board, which may be signed after the meeting, if you so choose. And then someone has to make a motion.
Hello, Paula.
Hi,
Nice
Deb.
seeing you again.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Did anyone have any questions for our treasurer? If not, I move to approve and adopt the votes of the board as prepared by bond counsel to the town and presented to this meeting, which votes, among other things, approve the issuance of the bond to the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority under the vote of the town adopted on May 17, 2023, Article 55. Approve the terms of the related loan agreement and financial assistance agreement. Authorize the treasurer to determine the terms of such bond and ratifies, approves, and confirms all actions taken to date to carry out the related project and its financing. The formal terms of the votes prepared by bond counsel to the town and approved by this motion shall be incorporated in the minutes of this meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. On the vote.
Any
You want to talk? Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the town manager. Mark, is this separate from what we voted at town meeting? Didn't we vote I at town meeting, a certain amount, and now this shows up as a 10-year stretch?
I can answer that, Mark, if you like.
Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome. So this I are funds that are in a deficit due to the fact that these funds were never borrowed. They are still sitting on our outstanding list with bond counsel. So that is why it's being brought up now.
Well, that explains.
It's from 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions of the board? Hearing none. On the motion, Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
Chair votes in favor.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a public hearing, and we are actually... Default,
You skipped 6.
no, this one here. So on the town meeting schedule, 9/14/26, department heads present the articles to the town manager. 9/15/2026, the town manager presents the proposed articles to the select board. 9/15/2026, the warrant opens for the select board. Earliest date is 11/16, and the meeting is on 9/22. 9/29/2026, the warrant closes for the select board. This is a Monday. Earliest to the 11/16 meeting date is 10/5. 10/1/2026, forward copies of the warrant articles. 10/1/2026, forward copies of the warrant articles. 11/2/2026, distribution of special town meeting warrant. 11/9/2026, notification of special town meeting. 11/9/2026, notice to appear in a special town meeting. 11/16/2026, the first day of the special town meeting, and 11/18, the second day of the special town meeting if needed. And that is the schedule.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add a point.
Yes.
We would like to get a vote of the board to set the 11/16 meeting date. We've got confirmation from the schools to have the school. We've notified the moderator. Everything's lined up for that date to work.
Okay. That being said, is there a motion to be made?
So made, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion made and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none on the motion. Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
And I vote in favor as well. Okay, so that puts us back down to our public hearing. And this one, we're still early, where this is advertised for 8:30. So with that, why don't we take, I don't think there's any other business we can do. Why don't we just take a couple-minute break so that we can get on schedule? So Ms. Walsh is holding.
The consent agenda on the back?
Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, no, that's an easy one. We'll just take the break, Cynthia. Thank you for your input, though. But, yeah, I'll declare a 15-minute break.
What's up, jerks?
We got a 15-minute break here. Wow, wasn't expecting that. I know, someone says, Kim says, I'm so confused at what's happening. I don't know. I don't even know what's happening. We're going to watch the rest of this hearing no matter what. That's what I do know. We could talk about the Norfolk County DA's race, maybe. I've just been thinking a lot about this. I don't want to talk too much about it. Um, One of the things I didn't want to do is put my finger on the scale. I've resisted doing that, even though I felt like I was dragged into it, even though I didn't want to. But I just think some people could have a lot of regrets September 1st if things, or September 2nd, the day after the election, if things don't go the way that they expect. You know, what happens if what I'm seeing, Greg Connor wins this thing, and somebody else could have won, but they dragged her down. They dragged her down. We'll see what happens. I mean, some people could have some regrets. We'll see. We'll see. Because some people have really jumped deeply into that race. Yeah. That might actually be a good idea. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much for everyone who's watching right now. Hi, Kim. Thanks for being here. Ruthie, I'm here now. I'm not even going to wait till after it's done. I'm here already. I don't know what's going to happen when the hearing's done. Probably just going to close it down. But you have me like probably for 15 minutes now. I know. I know. Funny. Because it's become Juna versus Daesh. And it's like, that's actually the worst. This whole war. Like, you know, there's people doing videos, imitations of her. It's like, what if she's actually the only one who can beat Connor? I mean, you would think if you really cared about the race, you would be spending more focus on Connor. Huh. Instead, it's Judah versus Daesh. On both sides, I guess, you know? But it's become very peculiar. But maybe Connor should win. You know, maybe I mean I'm not supporting him. I think he's got experience, but based on the campaigns, I don't know. I mean, geez, the guy that should have been the lightning rod has somehow stayed out of it. Like maybe that's what they need in Norfolk County. I mean, he should be the one who's getting attacked. Nobody's even really gone after him about the campaign donations. Juna's turquoise color has gotten more attacks than Connor's campaign contributions. So I'm kind of just disgruntled. That's bottom line. I'm just disgruntled by the level of discourse and the lack of actually even bringing up the issues. Everything's corruption, 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 corruption. We got to root it out. There's only one guy who can do it. It's like, really? Really? I'm not convinced. Not convinced. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe he'll take second place. You know, this one too, WSC. I'm very frustrated with that comment too. And I know it's probably coming from a good place, but it's so unrealistic. Not first of all, none of them are going to drop out. And even if they did, let's say Juna Perkins dropped out. You know where her votes would go? They would go to Macy Lee. And maybe some to Jim Barakat. And maybe some to Greg Connor. Like, it's not going to change the race. Someone else is going to get those votes. Like, it's still going to be divided. So, like, that is just unrealistic. No one's dropping out. So when you bring it up, it's just like, it's not reality. Not reality. Nobody's dropping out. And even if they did, it wouldn't change the race. The race is still divided. There's like 8 candidates, 7, 8. I don't even know. I'd have to count them. There's a lot of candidates. And they all have a constituency. You know, some of these people might do better than you think. Macy Lee, Juvenville, they might do actually better than people think. And no one's going after Connor. She may actually be the one that wins. Like, that's the thing with this. We have no polling. Nobody thinks Macy Lee can win, but a lot of people who were in Norfolk County who were talking to me saying, man, I see a lot of Macy Lee signs. She's actually winning in certain towns that you wouldn't expect even. We'll see. I still think Juna Perkins has the best shot, but beyond Gray Connor. And maybe Macy Lee. I think I actually think those might be the top 3 campaigns. We'll see. You know, Craig McClellan might do good as well in his town, Cohasset. You know, certain towns, certain areas, they're all going to have their pockets of votes. It's whether or not they can translate and build off of that pocket where they're from. I think Greg Connor is going to obviously do really well in Quincy. That's Michael Morrissey's. And the real question is, will there be enough votes in the other towns to combat what Connor gets in Quincy? And who will actually get those votes? Will they all be divided among those other candidates, Macy Lee and Juna Perkins, for instance? Or will people kind of consolidate behind one candidate in some of those other towns? We'll see. We really don't know. It's going to be September 1st primary, which isn't a great time to get people to vote. A lot of people are still on summer vacation. Has school even started September 1st this year? It's a Tuesday, September 1st. I don't even know if people are back from summer vacations. I have a feeling some people might still be at the Cape that week. I don't know. It's a tough time to get people to vote, September 1st. In New England, a lot of us, especially in Massachusetts, a lot of people go away in the summer months. July and August, a lot of us go to Cape Cod or Maine or New Hampshire or Vermont, where I just went. You know, we get away. We go to the mountains. We go to the beach. School has started by then? Okay. So September 1st, school has started by then. All right. So that's good. People should be home from vacation by then. God damn. Yeah, I think Macy Lee does have a good chance. Exactly. That's the thing. I hope whoever, wins does clean house. And, even Connor, I know people are really going to be sad if he wins. A lot of people. I don't think he's going to be that terrible. I think he'll be better than Michael Morrissey. I mean, whoever gets elected is going to be better than Michael Morrissey, especially in the beginning. The problem is, will they be there for 30 years like Michael Morrissey was? And the good thing about this field of candidates is they do have, I would say, more experience than Michael Morrissey probably had when he became DA. Especially, I would say, Juna Perkins, Macy Lee, Craig McClellan, Bob Juvenile, all of them have a lot of experience. We'll see what happens. We're waiting for the intermission to end. I don't know, when did it even start? I said 15 minutes. I'm going to have to fill in some time. What else do you want to hear about tonight? You want to hear about Lally and a sit down? I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. No idea. I don't really keep track of the civil trial like that on the depositions like a lot of people, some people do. Some of the creators, they keep track of every movement, but it's like when you can't play videos, it's kind of like, what I'm looking forward to is the day that we're able to play all these videos after the civil trials are over. When they do the document releases and we get to play the deposition videos, that will be fun. Yeah, the thing too about Connor too, if you look at his campaigning right now, he's got a lot of union supporting. That's why I keep thinking it's Adam Deitch versus Juna Perkins, but I think the Deitch and Senator Birchmore people probably did damage Juna enough that she's probably not going to have a chance to win now. I think that it's going to be Greg Connor. I think that's what Adam Deitch, I feel like, is the spoiler in this campaign. I think his campaign did spoil possibly Juna Perkins enough. But if you look at this campaign in Norfolk County right now, you have Greg Connor with Quincy, the Michael Morrissey machine behind him, all the politicians, all the cops, and then you have all the unions. He's got a lot. Every day he's got a new picture with a new union endorsing him. He's got the union voters behind him, the town employees. He's got a strong base. And then on the other side, you have Juna Perkins, who's getting all the local townspeople, the local dog catchers, and the select board members, and the historical commission members, and all the local people that people know and respect. She's getting their endorsements. And that's why I think she has a good chance of winning, actually. But I don't know. Seems like she's taken on a lot of water since the last week. I mean, it's just, we'll see what happens. The internet doesn't really mean real life, but sometimes it does if it gets to such a mass. So we'll see what happens. I really don't know. Nobody knows. There's no polling. That's what's so crazy about this. Oh, Vic, if you have to go to bed, go to bed. Get some rest. We got all of our fingers crossed for you, and wishing you the best with your new project. Go, Vic. Let's hear it for Victorine. Say, go, Vic. Give her some encouragement. Go to sleep. If you need to take a nap, go take a nap. Nobody's here. No trolls are here. You don't have to be here if you don't feel like it. If you need sleep, get sleep. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep time. I'm just trying to keep the stream alive. We got 61 people still watching this. Most of the hearing's over. Like, there's probably nothing else good. I could probably shut it down. Like, Mazza Media was also streaming this tonight, I saw. And he already shut it down. I think after the public comment, he just shuts it down. That's what most people would do on YouTube, creators, YouTubers. If they want the maximum amount of numbers, you shut it down when, people lose interest in the stream, so you keep the numbers next time, That's kind of the game that a lot of these YouTubers will play. Not us, though. We don't care about the numbers like that. If we're interested in still watching it, we continue to stay live. So we'll wait. We will wait the 15 minutes, and even though there's only 63 people, and nobody on Facebook, there's like a couple people on my own Facebook page watching it. Where today, I can't figure out Facebook. Today we had so many people watching the Clancy trial, which is strange. Like, sometimes Facebook, they'll watch certain things, like with Karen Reed, but I couldn't believe that they were watching the Clancy thing on my Facebook on the Young Jerks today. There were more people watching there. There was like 300 to 500 people live watching that on our Facebook page today over our YouTube, where we maybe had 150 at tops. It's wild. Sometimes Facebook is really good, and then other times, like now, nobody's watching. YouTube, that's the thing. It's a little more steady. They'll always give you some people watching on YouTube. You were up on Facebook. Why do you think so many found it today? That's what I can't figure out, Kim. Why do you think so many people were watching that today on Facebook? Did someone big share it? I have no idea. And Facebook is like a wild page for us. People get really... I don't block there as much. I don't, unless you get really nasty to me. But, like, we have people on all sides on there, like antis from Karen Reed and free Karen Reed people. Some of the free Karen Reed people are like, why do you allow so many of these antis on here? And it's like, because I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just hoping that it'll help the algorithm. Let them go on and on. I don't care. And then other people who are free Karen Reed or, free Turtle Boy are up there bitching about me all the time. And they just get up there and they say the stupidest shit. They're like... I posted a document about something that happened in court with Aiden, like the motion to compel, that little, thing that the ruling from the judge. and they got all mad at me like I had some agenda. And it's like, I'm posting a document. Like, what is your problem? But that's Facebook. That's what, I just let it go on Facebook. I really don't care. Maybe that's the magic of it. Maybe that's how people find it. I don't know. I'm wondering how you found it on Facebook today. Yeah. I think Facebook just wanted to promote it today. Like, Facebook woke up and said, we're going to promote Mike's Clancy trial stream today. Oh. But tonight they're not promoting us. I don't know what happened. Nobody's here from Facebook tonight. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but I just did see some confirmation on this from somebody I trust the reporting of, especially because I know Ken Mello, and they did interview them in the past. Jessica Machado reported that Prosecutor Ken Mello, his wife, posted on her Facebook that he had passed away.
Public hearings.
All right, I'm out of here.
The application for a change of license manager, Sugarloaf Hospitality, LLC, TGI Fridays, 2 Hawes Way. Is Nicole Crosby joining us tonight?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So made.
Second. Motion made and seconded. On the motion to open the public hearing, Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
And I vote in favor. Okay. Madam Vice Chair, would you please read the documents?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to start with the letter from Albert A. DiNapoli, sent to the Town and Select Board. The letter is dated May 26, 2026, regarding TGI Friday and Thomas Wright. Dear Sir, Ma'am, this letter serves to inform you that Thomas Wright is no longer with TGI Fridays Restaurant in Stoughton. We are in the process of completing the application for the new manager of record and will be filing it with the board very soon. Very truly yours, Albert DiNapoli. And once again, this is an application for a change in license. Sugarloaf Hospitality, LLC, doing business as TGI Friday on 2 Halls Way. That's all we have. All the documents are in line.
Ms. Crosby, Ms. Crosby, would you please like to make your presentation?
I'm sorry?
Would you like to make your presentation on the change of manager?
I didn't know I needed to make a presentation.
You don't have to.
I apologize.
You don't have to. We can just start with some questions, and you can answer them to the best of your ability, okay? If you don't have anything prepared, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, good.
Okay. Questions of the board? Mr. Cavey?
I've read through the package. I have no questions.
Okay. Mr. Carrara?
I have none.
Ms. Roberts?
I have none, but I did want to read into the record the collective recommendation based on all of the departments. They have no objections to the request for the change of license. That's the fire department approved, collector's office approved, water department approved, building department approved, board of health approved, and the police department approved. And I have no question.
Okay. Ms. Jakes?
I have no questions either.
Whereas this is a public hearing, is there anybody from the public who'd like to be heard? Ms. Walsh?
Cynthia Walsh, excuse me, 1096 Park Street. So who are we talking about? What's the name of the person?
This is the manager for a change of manager for TGI Fridays.
So we're changing the manager, but we don't know who we're changing it to?
Yes, Mrs. Walsh, I can answer that. That is Nicole Crosby, and that's the letter that I read.
And Ms. Crosby is online here if you have a question for her.
Oh, I thought she was the attorney. I'm sorry.
No, she is the manager to be.
Okay. Have you been manager of an establishment like this before?
Yes, I've been a manager on record since 2011 for all the locations that I've worked in.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions from the public? Is there anybody from home that would like to ask a question of the applicant? Any other questions from our board?
Motion to close the hearing.
Motion made to close the hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Motion made and seconded. Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
And I vote in favor as well. Is there a motion to be made?
Motion to approve the manager change.
Motion to be made for approval of the manager change. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further questions on the board or any comments? Hearing none. Ms. Jakes?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Carrara?
Yes.
Mr. Cavey?
Yes.
And I vote in favor as well. Good luck.
And congratulations. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay,
The
item,
next is item 8B, Massachusetts Electric Company doing business as Natural Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated joint poll petition on Fennel Drive, project number 313-20023. Is Jared on the line?
Yes, I am.
I would like to first read into the record the hearing. Just a minute. A public hearing will be held by the Select Board on Tuesday, August 11, 2026 at 8:30 p.m. to consider the joint petition of Massachusetts Electric Company doing business as National Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated. Request permission to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures along and across the following public way: Fennel Drive. National Grid to install 8 JO poles on Fennel Drive and to relocate 1 JO pole on Park Street at the center line of the intersection of Park Street and Fennel Drive, and continuing approximately 750 feet in a southwest direction. National Grid proposes relocating P65 Park Street plus or minus 17 feet southeast, installing 8 poles plus or minus 100 apart each down Fennel Drive for new elementary school on Fennel Drive in Stoughton, Massachusetts, project number 313-20023. The hearing will be conducted in the Great Hall, 3rd floor, Town Hall, 10 Pearl Street, Stoughton, Mass., and or virtually and via Google Meets, and may be broadcast via Stoughton Media Access Television and live stream. Google Meets video link and telephone connection of public comment available by calling the Select Board office at 781-341-1300, extension 9212, or email to gpereira@stoughton-ma.gov, per order of Joseph McCrisky, Chair, Select Board. A vote to open the public hearing, please.
So made.
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
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 And I vote aye as well. So the department responses, police approved, engineering approved, no objections, DPW approved, and the fire department approved. Do the select board members have comments? Or before I do that, Mr. Jarrett, is there anything else you would like to mention?
Not at this time. It's pretty straightforward, like you mentioned, just bringing power down Fano Drive for the new school.
Any questions from the, Mr. Carrera?
Through you, Madam Moderator, to the town manager / town engineer. How long is this thing going to be called Fano Drive when we made it to Stefano Way?
Once the building's complete and has a CO, the address will be changed at that point in time.
Is that the way it's going to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the Select Board? No questions? Okay, how about citizens? I see Mrs. Walsh has her hands raised.
Cynthia Walsh, 1096 Park Street. Is this the complete installation, everything that will be necessary up to and including the new school, or is this just for the construction period?
So this is going to be just for the construction right now. There's a different work request that's associated with the actual service for the school.
Thank you.
Are there any other citizens' comments or questions? I'm looking in the audience, I see none. I'm looking online, I see none. In that case, motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Thank you very much. On the vote, on the motion of the day.
Motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I vote aye as well. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Jared, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's move right along to item 8C. That's a water abatement hearing. Susan Fambu, 32 Stratford Street. I see Karen is in the office.
Stratford
Karen is in the audience. Craig, who else? I would like, before we start with our guests, so I guess after we hear from the resident, Keith and Karen, I guess you would come up. So I wanted to first read into the record and then to open the public hearing. Dear Mrs. Fambu, please be advised that your abatement request submitted to the Water Department has been denied following a thorough investigation. On February 12th, 2026, our electric water meter reading system identified a major leak at your property. Upon inspection, the Water Department foreman observed an ice dam on the rear of the house. Additionally, 2 Water Department employees were granted access to the interior of the home where they discovered burst pipes within the walls. It was noted that heat was only present in the front of the residence, and as a result of the burst pipes, ceiling tiles had fallen and water was pouring into the bathtub. Based on these findings, we are unable to grant an abatement at this time. Sincerely, our water sewer superintendent, Mr. Keith. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
So made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Thank you for joining us today. Please state your name and your relationship to this property in question and this abatement request.
Thank you very much. Chairman and the honorable members of the Select. My name is Susan Fambu, and I'm the owner of 32 Stratford Avenue in Stoughton. And I have never done this before, so bear with me. I have, what I did was because of my accent and because I want to be heard, I went ahead and I made my appeal, about 10, 12 copies of them. I was hoping that there would be time that I can pass it around so that they can just see what I'm talking about, and so that they can listen to me and at least finally they can get my point of the situation, because there's a lot of information that is not appropriate that was issued by the water department. So I don't know if it's possible I can give it around, if that's okay. I have my appeal written on the paper.
Excuse me, Ms. Fambu, I believe we have that, and I can read it into the record if you would like.
What you have is just a brief letter of what I wrote rushly when I came in. I have details of my explanation of the situation, which is what I want to be listened to, if that's appropriate, because I would like them to understand I'm not in agreement with anything that has been said by the water department, because there's a lot of information that is not true, and I want to make it straight so that I can get it fair and I can be listened to. So I have the copies here, if I'm permitted. I can give it around.
Okay, before you do that, I will read your request for the water and sewer bill abatement that was to us, and then we'll be happy to hear. Okay. So I will read, I am writing to formally request an abatement due to a substantial and unexpected increase in my water and sewer bill, which rose from an average of less than $200 to a staggering amount of $2,011.78. As an owner of nearly 30 years with no prior history of water-related issues, I was shocked and deeply concerned by this sudden surge. At the recommendation of the Stoughton Public Water and Sewer Department, I engaged a licensed plumbing professional to thoroughly assess my property's plumbing system. The resulting report from GDP Plumbing and Gas Company confirmed that there were no leaks, damages, or defects within my home's plumbing system that could explain such an excessive increase in usage. Regrettably, when I submitted this report for review, the supervisor dismissed the findings and questioned the competence of the licensed plumbing and gas specialist who conducted the inspection. I also experienced disrespectful treatment, false accusations, and a refusal to acknowledge the evidence that I had provided in good faith. Rather than addressing my concerns and considering the documentation presented, I was advised to bring this matter before the general town manager. I respectfully request a fair and thorough review of my account, the evidence submitted, and consideration for an appropriate abatement. I have acted reasonably and diligently to investigate this issue, and I believe this extraordinary increase warrants further examination and relief. Thank you for your time, understanding, and attention to this matter. I look forward to a prompt and equitable resolution. Sincerely, the homeowner, which is yourself.
Thank you.
In response, I have a letter from Karen Brown, who is with our Water and Sewer Department. And I'm sure she will address that when it's her turn to speak, so I won't mention it. I won't read that. Her letter is dated July 15, 2026. So in that case, please proceed with your summary. We're in an open public hearing, and this is your right to summarize.
Yeah, I'm ready to do that because what I said was because of my assent and the fact that I have a two-page appeal. If it's okay for me to read it or just pass it around, I would do that, whatever you request me to do.
Please read it, if that's your choice.
Okay.
She does not what? She has 5 pages. Well, I thought you said 2. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
2 or 5?
I have, I think, Yeah, 4 pages. I wrote some just with the hand, you know.
Did the water department see your 5 pages?
No, they didn't, because I wrote a detailed one after I got the denial. I wrote and explained my understanding of what happened and how I was being handled. That's what made me to write that, but I wasn't aware that I should have given it before this meeting. So I thought when it came to my turn to talk, I would just pass it around. That's why I made many, many copies so that they can follow along just in case they don't understand what I'm saying. That was my reason for that. But if I'm given an opportunity to read it, I'll try. Hopefully, they'll get what I'm reading, so I can do that.
Police. Right, because they didn't hear it. So in that case, I think we have sufficient information from the 2 documents that I read from, and the fact that our water and sewer department didn't have the opportunity to read your 5-page letter. And I'm sorry, I thought you said 2 pages, and with
read
just the documentation, because what I would like to get to is have Karen and Keith really talk to us how it increased and in what time and what they were seeing on their side. And then you would have an opportunity to agree or disagree, because we want to really understand the data, like what happened, why was there a surge? Because they have technology that shows that it increased. But please, if you could summarize, like the high points, if it was anything different from what I read. We want to treat you fairly. We want to treat you with respect. We want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll read what I'm writing to reconsider the recent denial of an abatement, a tenfold
Are you
increase.
reading a 5-page letter?
No, I will just read this too. I'll just briefly read what,
The summary? Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have to repeat that. The thing is...
Thank you, Mr. Fembo.
Yeah, my emphasis here is the fact that I was told that all the information that I was given by Karen was not something that I agreed with, because nobody at any point entered my house to search, and I didn't give permission to anyone to enter and search water. There was no leak, there was no bathtub destruction. I don't know which house they're describing here. There are no pictures. And when I requested to talk to the technicians, they claim that they sent to my house, I was told that I don't have the right to ask for those people who came to my house. And because I was told that three contractors came to my house. No contractor came to my house, and nobody entered my house. It's my house. Nobody will enter there without me. Nobody entered my house. And to begin with, even if it was a matter of they saw my pipes leaking at this extent, they have control over my meter. They could have stopped my meter if they thought that there was wastage going there, if all this is true. And the way it went is that the leak comes and stops. It goes intermittently. It just goes after some days, then it stops. So I was being told that I've been fixing it. There's possibly no way I could have fixed anything like that. If you saw the graphs, there are graphs on the sheet that tell you that this water goes for about 1 week and then stops completely and then starts again and goes up. I am unaware of all that. Nothing like that happened, because I've been there, as you say, 30 years. I've never had anything complain like that at all. And I do not understand the relationship with ice that was mentioned in this letter on my roof, with the fact that I was told that because I had that ice had to go enter my, I don't know, the water from the ice goes through the meter. I'm unaware of that. I have a single family house. There is no second family, no second section where pipes are on the wall. I have one family and a basement. And I have not had any damage in that house whatsoever. And the fact that I was being kept privileged information from me, and I was denied to even ask questions, just go pay it. If you care, go to the town manager. I didn't even know who town manager was because I had never come up here. It's sad that I have to come under these circumstances. I would have tried to find out what was going on in my own city, but I didn't. So I am dissatisfied because I need them to show me proof of the people who came, the pictures they took, what they saw, which they are making me be responsible for a $2,000 water bill. 2 of us live in my house. I don't even have a washing machine. I am frugal the way I use water. And as for pipes, I did not, in God's name, repair any pipes in my house. Even the inspector, they questioned the inspector that came. They said the inspector was not reliable. I encouraged Karen. I said, why don't you call? You have a letter. You have the phone number. Call the inspector. They have that license. They have that license. Deal with them because I don't know what he did. I'm not a plumber. I'm not a master plumber. She said no. She wouldn't even look at the paper. They were just insisting on what, yes.
Excuse me. I'm going to answer your first question, and that was you would like Karen and Keith to explain to you what happened. So I'm going to give them an opportunity to do that because I'm interested, and so are the fellow board members are interested. And after they talk and show us the details of how they came to their conclusion, then you will have time to provide additional information if it's necessary. So at this time, I would ask Karen and Keith to come forward and give some details on what they're seeing on their side.
I'm going to answer your first question, and that was...
Yeah, sure.
So I was just asked if you, Ms. Fambu, I was just asked if you could move to the front row, just so they won't be crowded because they're going to have papers and things like that. And you're going to be invited back to that table as soon as they get through.
Did you close the garage door?
Hello, Keith and Karen. Nice seeing you again. Did you want to address your letter first of July 16th, or to summarize that, and then go into the data, the per usual process, I should say?
Sure. Can you hear me? No. Okay, so Mrs. Fambu received her water bill on May 12th, and she had come into the water department shortly after that, questioning the amount of her bill. And I pulled up the graph, which you guys all have, and I tried to explain to her, you know, something happened at your property back in, I believe it was February and March. And she proceeded to tell me that nothing happened there, and then I had given her the graph, and I said, you know, you still have a very small amount of water going through your meter constantly every day. And then I started asking my normal questions. You know, do you have a spigot on outside? Do you have ice on the refrigerator? Do you have toilets that leak? Everything was no, no, no. And then I mentioned the heat. And she did mention something, she said something about the heat. I don't fully remember, so I'm not going to go into that. But then she left. I had mentioned maybe get a plumber where you do have something leaking a little bit every day. And then she had left. And then she came back on June 10th. And we went over this again. And she was asking me how I found out about this, and I explained to her that our electronic reading system alerts me every day of extremely high water usage. It's like a top 10, top 20 list. No resident should ever be on the highest water usage ever, and she was in the top 10. So I immediately sent our water department there, and they had come back and told me that there was an ice dam on the back of the property, and they were let in the house. I did ask Mrs. Fombu about them going into the house, and she said she didn't know anything about it. The water department had mentioned she wasn't there. It was a gentleman who was there. I'm not sure who it was. And they had went inside, and in that letter explained what they saw. She just kept telling me, no, no, no. And I tried to explain to her, unfortunately, there is nothing that I can do. You got the plumber. The plumber didn't find any leaks because by the time she got the plumber, it was June. These leaks had happened back in February and March. So she got a little heated with me, and I referred her to the town manager. And this is where we are.
Thank you. Keith, were you going to say something?
Yes, through you, Mr. Chairman. Based on the consumption report, you can see that there was, issues going on, continuous usage, and the invoice from the plumber is in June, well after the fact. So, we're not pointing fingers here, but something was done to rectify these leaks. And in addition, I have two of my coworkers that were responded to this resident's house that saw the burst pipes, if you'd like comments from them as well.
So did I misunderstand, or are you saying you have witnesses here that actually saw the pipes?
Yes, it's two of my coworkers that actually were allowed entry into the house by a gentleman that was referenced earlier, while this whole epidemic was going on. So they're here if you'd like comments from them.
So I was just told by Mr. Chairman, yes, he does want to hear from the witness.
Sure. Okay.
And we'll typically, like our per usual process, the select board members may have questions for you and for the resident, Ms. Frembu, and the witnesses.
Absolutely.
So at this time, can the witnesses come up and attest to what they saw?
Yeah, the witnesses, it's Tom Tracy and Anthony Farina, two water department input technicians.
A seat.
So when you approach the mic, please state your name and your affiliation with the water and sewer.
Thomas Richard Tracy, Stoughton Water Department.
President Anthony Farina, Stoughton Water Department.
What was the question, Mr. Chairman? You had a question for Mr. Tracy and...
No, actually, no, the question I had would be with Karen and Keith. No, this goes back to the question earlier about the communication. And I didn't know if the homeowner understood, is there any was there any communication barrier? Did you understand what was being said to you? And could our people understand the homeowner? Was there any, language barrier that maybe a misconception was taken? Just want to make sure that's not an issue, because we've dealt with that before, where the homeowner just didn't understand the process. Just want to make sure that you guys were interacting and she understood it.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I had no conversations with this resident. It was primarily with Karen, and then with these two gentlemen and one other technician that's not here. He's on vacation.
Okay. I want to hear from our guys, but as I'm talking, she's sitting there nodding her head no, and I just want to make sure that we're all on the same communication line here. If the resident didn't understand any of this process, that's what I'm concerned with right now, because she's got a look on her face that's troubling. It's not a comfortable look, and I'm not sure. I need you folks to tell us, and I don't know. I would even say that maybe we should put this off until we can have somebody meet with the homeowner. That unless she can, ma'am, can you understand us all and understand what's being said? And I'm not trying to embarrass you. Sometimes I don't even understand this process when we talk about it. But did you understand? Did you have any questions that they didn't answer for you?
Yes, sir.
Folks, this is just me, but, I think we should try to do something where we can make sure that everybody was communicating at the same level, that there was 100% understanding of the issue. But again, I want to hear from you folks as well, but, anybody on the board, the town manager, that maybe it might just take another meeting to sit down. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I had multiple conversations with her. She, three times she was at the Public Works, and we had multiple conversations for more than 5 minutes each time. Like, it was multiple conversations for quite some time, and we have gone over everything, and she did understand.
Okay. Well, she's got a, I'm sorry, she's got a look that just does not make me feel comfortable. So it, well, okay. All right, let's hear, all right, no, let's hear from our water department, gentlemen, so we can get that information and we'll move from there.
Okay, I'll go first.
There you go.
So Karen called me. We got to 32 Stratford. It was diagnosed on the computer that there was a water leak in the house. I banged on the door. A gentleman answered the door. I was invited into the house when I told them there's a water leak and it's going through the meter, but I couldn't get to the meter because the meter was blocked with a lot of stuff. Couldn't get to the meter. I said, could you just bring me to the nearest bathroom so I could just see what's going on? I could see if the toilet was running or something like that. So there was an addition off the back of the house. There was plastic sheeting and there was no heat in the back. There was a bathroom. There was water gushing through the ceiling into the shower. I opened underneath the sink, and the pipe was dripping and spraying water also. And the toilet was consistently emptying and filling, which means there was a break somewhere. I showed him everything. We couldn't really communicate very well, but I was patient, and he was a very nice guy. But I did show him what was going on, and there was a serious problem. And if they needed us to shut the water off, I was about to do that immediately. But he didn't want the water off. I told him to contact the office, and we went about our way. But I did see the water. I seen everything that was coming out. And there was a leak in the ceiling. The water was gushing through the ceiling, too. There was about 5 feet of snow outside. It was like 10 degrees. It was a very hectic winter, during that. But that's what I saw when I went inside. I did not get to see the meter because there is a dial on it. You see that meter spinning, but the meter was blocked with all types of stuff and furniture. I had no access to it.
But we had that reading that it was going.
Absolutely, through Karen's computer. She has it computerized, yes. It's smart meter, so it tells her everything that's going on. And that's why we were at that address.
Are there any other questions for the witnesses? I see Mr. Cavey.
Just have one question, and I apologize having to ask, but are there any photographs of...
I did not take any photographs. I was inside of a private home. I did not want to take any photographs of anything like that. I was just there to help the homeowner. I was going to shut the water off if needed, and they didn't want that at the time.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. Your consciousness of people's privacy and their legal rights, I think, is important here. But I think when we do other things like inspections, there typically are pictures. I'm not faulting you at all, but we are in a place now where there's a question of who do we believe, and we want to believe everyone, and so it sort of puts us in a bind. I'm not sure what to make of that today, but I would say that I think recommending a policy where under the advice of legal counsel, we find a way to be able to document these things, to be able to protect everybody, you're certainly yourself included. And I appreciate the work you guys do. And I know it puts you in a very difficult position where you've got to, justify something you witnessed with your own eyes. And I apologize that you're in that, have to be in that position. I think that, we'll kind of work all the rest of it out. But if the town manager doesn't mind, taking a look to see what resources are available to make sure that you guys are able to have the things the documentation you need without it being too onerous. I think that will benefit everybody in the long run.
Okay.
Hopefully you don't mind the recommendation.
Yeah, so also, I would have taken a picture of the water meter, because we do own that, but there was no access to the water meter. And it was pitch black. I mean, I had a flashlight, but I can't stop moving everybody's furniture and, stuff that's stacked in the ceiling.
Also, I'm completely out of my depth. I don't know what the law allows or doesn't allow, so like.
But I didn't take any pictures inside the house, but I would definitely have taken a picture of the water meter if I had access to that.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Carrara.
Thank you, Madam. Mr. Tracy,
Yes, sir.
did anybody check the street jacket to see if this is a legal two-family? Is it two-family? Has it?
So it's a raised ranch. It's a raised ranch. I didn't look at it as a two-family house at all. Looked like one family living there, and
So it was, the basement was sort of finished?
it was very congested.
Right.
Right, I didn't have access to, and I didn't want to start running around everywhere. I already seen the leaks. I already saw the water gushing.
I have to say to everybody that I do know a little bit about this stuff, and really to see water coming out like that, that's just not an ice dam. An ice dam gets in behind the walls and it goes down slow. And you find it on the floor, you find it on your drapes. You don't see ceiling tiles moving, you don't see water gushing, because that water's under like 50 pounds of pressure. And that's stagnant level. So I got to say that, and I agree with the Public Works, something was done in that house. Otherwise, Karen's computer would be still going off, and the bill would be about 10 grand by now. So we can vote to drag this on, but I don't see anything changing from two gentlemen that went in, that was sent there with the smart meters. We paid all this money to do the job, and it did its job. And I have to go. These guys.
The smart meter made it 2,000. If it wasn't there, it would have been 10,000.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Cavey. And Mrs. Fambu, I see your hand raised. As soon as the select board members have their question for the witness, I will come back to you.
Yeah, I'll just be very quick in this. It's not necessarily a question, but right now, and I am guilty of this myself, we kind of went down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out, whether or not there was a specific leak in a place that was witnessed and all of these things. I really just want to amplify. I think the important point is that the meters are the meters. There's no way to make them run fast. There's no way to turn them on remotely. They report like that water went through the meter, and so where it may have ended up, I just don't want that to be a red herring. That okay, so it wasn't in the bathtub, or it wasn't an ice dam, or wasn't this or that. If it was to fill up a swimming pool, or it hardly matters, where it went. I think you made an effort to try to help the homeowners by identifying where there might be a potential leak, and for that, I really appreciate it. I think that's one of the great values of these smart meters, and I've been lucky enough to not have to get a call saying, hey, we see your meters, won't stop. What's going on in your house? But at the same time, the one thing I'm certain of is that these meters are not inaccurate. That water did go through the meter. So I just wanted to kind of amplify that. I will ask that as a question. Is there anything that I just said that's wrong? Is there any evidence that these meters might be incorrect?
I think you're right on. I don't, there could be one out of, 10,000, one out of 1,000. I'm not the engineer that makes the meter, but I know they're very accurate, and, it doesn't lie on Karen's computer. Every other house she sent me to, there was glaciers on the sides of the houses. It's just this one didn't have a outside broken pipe. It was inside due to, lack of heat, I'd have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do.
Mrs.
Oh, Ms. Jakes has a question.
A quick question. So I initially had the same question that Mr. King did on if there are any photos that
Is
were
this for him or for me?
It's for you, whoever would like to answer
Okay.
this question.
I'll answer it.
But after you had the visit to the home, then what is your protocol? Like, what is your process to report what you saw? If we're not taking photos, what is the
So my
process
first
to
action
report
would be
that?
to get in the house, and I want to see the water meter. But where the water meter was located, there was stuff stacked all over the place. You couldn't get to it.
Wait, I understand that. Sorry to interrupt you, because I don't want you to repeat everything that you just repeated.
Okay.
But I mean, after, so you leave the home.
No, I
and
didn't
then-
leave. So after I couldn't see the water meter, I said, bring me to a bathroom so I can take the top of the tank off and I could see the internal parts of a toilet will leak, and it's actually very quiet. It could cost you a fortune if you don't pay attention to that. And, that was happening also. The tank was draining and running the whole time. And under the sink was leaking, and the roof, water was gushing through the ceiling of the stand-up shower that was in that bathroom. And there was no heat in the back of the house, and I knew that was a problem. They didn't want the water off, though, so I left.
So when you left, what is your process then
Called
to
Karen and told her
report?
exactly what happened. And I said, I offered to shut the water off, but if we shut the water off, it probably would have froze the house if the water wasn't continued to move,
Sure.
So we just left it the way it was.
Okay, thank you.
And the woman, nice woman behind me that owns the house, she was not there. I was let in by a gentleman. So I never met her before.
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
So the surge of water has stopped now, correct? Yes, okay. So at least I call it stop the bleeding, so yes. So now,
Just got a comment.
okay, Mr. Chairman has a comment, and then we want to summarize. Mrs. Bamboo has a comment.
Well, like many of you, we've sat through some of these hearings. I've sat through hundreds of them. I'm going to ask Scott to prove me wrong if I am. I don't think we've ever sat here and heard from a guy in the field that said that he went in and he saw the water gushing. It's the first time. It's the first time as well. Usually, we don't know where the water went. We know the water went through the meter, but we never saw anything. Now, this is the difference, is that we have our trained professionals that do this. The system is working, and how long have you been with us now? 25 years now?
20 years.
20 years. 20 years of experience in his job. I'm going to take that he knows what he's looking at when it comes to water running. I think all of us know when your toilet runs, you know it. It sticks. Everybody's had it happen once in a while, and it runs consistently. That's going to add up. And this is the first time so clearly, and you can almost picture it in your head by the way you explained it, that water gushing out. There was water flowing. And I would imagine at a pretty good rate, if you were to put it into a 5-gallon bucket, it wouldn't take long to fill it up. And over a period of time, that'll cost a fortune, as we've found out. But I think this is pretty cut and dry. I don't know if there's anything that we can do that would assist the homeowner. And I guess maybe that's what we want to go back with and see if the water department with the town manager, and to see if there's something we can do that we might be able to help. What we have done before, we've tried to help residents, give them some educational materials or whatever we can do that'll assist them, so that we don't have to go through this again. They don't have to go through it again. So but that's it. You made it clear to me and just summed it right up. So.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mrs. Jakes, did you have one more comment? No? Okay. In that case, we're going to hear from Mrs. Bamboo. You wanted to summarize, and our witnesses, we thank you very much for giving us that detailed information, and we're taking that under advisement, and you will hear our decision after we hear from Mrs. Bamboo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's nice seeing you again. Mrs. Bamboo, just to summarize, what we've heard is visually, the inspectors visually seeing the surge of water,
We've heard that the surge of water has now stopped, so it's back at your normal rate. And they did have access to your home. They said you were not there. But the point is, your water bill did increase. So it's up to the board to make a decision based on our standard operating procedures, not treat you any differently than we've treated others that have had situations similar to yours. But I would like to hear from you if you would like to summarize or dispute anything that anyone has said in the Water and Sewer Department.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Please limit it to 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough. I just wish they had read what I wrote here, because most of what was said was not the truth. The inspectors didn't come to my house. The way I was treated showed that it was something else, because I wasn't even given an opportunity to talk by Ms. Karen, and she told me she cannot let me even find out who the contractors were. And if you look at my graph, the graph of water, there's absolutely no way water can pour and then stop for about a week or two and start again without anything done. When pipes are burst, pipes cannot be repaired until they cannot repair themselves. No pipes were repaired in my house. And just look at the graph. It comes from February. It will come for about 3 weeks and then stop. Does normal tire pipe burst does that? Does it repair itself? No. And if there was some consideration here, they didn't shut it. They claim they did not want to because somebody said they shouldn't. I don't know what they're talking about, because the inspector came, he saw my meter, he went down in the basement, saw the one there, saw the one outside. I do not understand. The emphasis of Karen was only on the fact that water ice was on my this thing, and my wall was all broken. No, a ranch, I don't have anything there for wall to be broken. I don't know what they're talking about. And the fact that they refused to even make me get access to those who came, and they're claiming here that they came after I went to our office, the inspectors came. Why can't they get in touch with me? Why? How can this be true? How can I've been dying for somebody to explain to me why? If you look at the graph, just please, you check the graph, it comes for a while and then stops, and then water goes up and stops, and it has been going like that almost since October or something. If I didn't see that bill, I would not have known there was anything wrong. And it is possible. A master licensed person can tell. According to them, the pipes on the wall were burst, the ceiling, the tiles were falling. I don't know what tiles. I don't have tiles on my ceiling. I don't know. I am not completely convinced that the intention here is to even help, because the attitude, the atmosphere at the water place was that showed that there was something else. Because when I was talking, I was so confused and mad. How can I pay $150 for all my life? If I thought it got to $200, which it has only gone once, how can I? And then it comes to that amount, and no reasonable person can explain to me what is going on, except the accusation. Except the accusation that your pipe was leaking. Your pipe, go get a technician. And then when I brought the technician, they would not call the technician and ask the technician what is going on, because I know nothing went on. Look at the graph. The graph tells you the attitude of how that thing, and who would repair pipes over and over and sit there and be repairing. If you check my graph, that's why I was really hoping they would read what I have written here, because that's my understanding of what I had to say, because I'm so stressed with this, because I don't even understand where this is coming from, and I want to be listened to. And whatever the supervisor or technician, whoever, the guy who was talking for here, I don't know what he's talking about, because even if I'm out of my house to go to the store, I don't go stay there. I come back. I don't stay out of my house. How can they say I wasn't there for all these things to happen? How can they say they look for my meter and they couldn't see my meter, but they can't show me what happened to the house? This is not easy for me. This is tough. And I really felt so so stressed and bruised when I got the letter that they would not help because it was my fault. Again, I do not have pipes on my wall. The only pipes I have are the ones in my bathroom, and no water was oozing from my bathroom. I could take pictures. If I knew I was going to get it, I would have taken pictures of my wall to bring. There is no water oozing and ceiling falling. I was like, whose house are they talking about? This house? I'm surprised, and I'm just not completely satisfied that they didn't really read my understanding of it, because this is my problem, and I don't want to keep this problem in front of my head at my age and be worried about it and feel like, why can't anyone listen to me?
So, Mrs. Fubu, the address is in question 32 Stratford Street. Is that correct?
Yeah, 32 Stratford Avenue, yeah, Stoughton.
Regarding someone at your home when you're not there to allow the water and sewer department to gain access.
No one.
That's no way that happened.
Yeah, because no one has ever entered my house when I'm not there. No one has entered my house when I'm not there. I mean, for how many years? Almost 30 years? This had just happened? Again, the emphasis was they were not listening to me because they kept saying the ice, the ice, the ice, the ice. That was why, as I said, but if there's ice outside, yes, every year ice goes, sometimes ice go out there. We clean the gutters. I never got anything out of ice outside. And I was wondering, does the ice outside has to go and enter my meter to make this water run? I mean, and again, in normal circumstances, if anything this abnormal were to happen, the wise thing to do is for the technician to shut it. You don't even need to even question that. If it was something that there was any truth or anything in it, they would, because anything can happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Fubu. I would ask Karen or Keith one additional question. The question is, regarding the surge of water and the flow of water as it was described in the documents as you described, and Mrs. Fubu said, and it has to be stains on the wall and things like that. Mrs. Fubu was saying it didn't happen. Is there any, and we're saying that there was some ice, but the flow of water through the technology that we have that monitors the water usage, it's at odds, right? One is ice, one is the flow of water. Can you help us to piece this story together? What likely happened?
I believe it had something to do with her heating system in the house. When she had come in the first time, I asked about that because it started in February and then it completely stopped in April. And I had asked her, did you shut the heat off? And she had said no. And then I tried to ask the same question to see if maybe something changes. I asked her about the heat again, and she did say, yes, I turned it on this day, but then I shut it back off. And I can see in my reports that it did go back on that day because the leak started again. And when she had originally come in, she did know about the ice dam in the back of the property. So I just want to say something. These meters help my department more than you could ever know. Finally, we have answers to people's questions and not just, oh, I don't know what happened. I can tell this water went through this meter. When I see these residents in my top 10 usage, my first thing I do is I call my guys and I say, something's not right here, something's going on here. And I immediately send them to the property, or I try to call them. I'm trying to help the people. I'm trying to tell them something is wrong, because if we don't, then what's the point? That's why I check these every single day. And she was actually one of 2 people that day who had ice dams on the back of their property. It was freezing out, and I honestly, I think it has to do with the heat. I think something was wrong with her heat. I think she had it on. I think it was off, on, off, in my opinion.
Thank you, Ms. Karen. So to my fellow board members, do you have any other questions? And then I'll defer to the citizens. Do you have any questions? It's not a public hearing, okay.
Sorry, yeah, I
It's
do have a
listed
question.
as
So
a-
does Ms. Jakes.
Oh, Mr. Jakes, go ahead. Jakes and then Mr. Carrara. Mr. Aby.
Mrs. Fambu, the employees who went into your home said that they noticed under your sink that there was water streaming out. Did you at any point notice that? At any point?
No, I did not, because I have two heating systems in my house, electric and gas, and they're on. I mean, they were always on, the same. I haven't changed them since I got the house 30 years ago.
And you said that you had a plumbing company come in to look to see if they saw any leaks. Is there any documentation that says that they did not
you have it in
see
your
any?
file.
Oh, it is. Directly from them?
Yes, from the master license person. It was why it took me 1 month to get it, because it was tough to get a license. People say they are licensed, they're not. So this one was master license, master something like plumbing and gas. And the thing is, I would have been more satisfied if they had called him, questioned him, because they would tell if something happened and it's not there. They would tell. They can tell. I can't. They would be able to tell. But he looked, even though the accusation was, but you fixed it and it's not happening now. No, there would be signs. They are technicians. That's what they get licensed for. They would tell you that, yes, there was a sign. Yes, it was there. Yes, it was not. They would. And there's no damage on my wall outside. It was just the ice that pile like it usually piles on the gutter. That it comes in crystals because the winter was smelling. Not that much. Who could have left their heat off for the type of winter we had? And I'm saying I've been in that house for how many years?
What I'm seeing in our packet is an invoice from GDP Plumbing and Gas. It's dated June 8th, 2026, so June.
Yes, after I was instructed to get a licensed plumber. I went to Boston, went all over, and finally I got one.
The date of the leak was in inspection. I don't know the date of the inspection.
February.
February.
So we have we have a site, our employee sees the water gassing in February, but the receipt, it said there was no leaks, was in June.
Yeah, it couldn't have, yeah, there couldn't have been a leak, continue, but the thing is, he can tell. And secondly, this thing is going up and down, sir. You could look at the bill. You could see how it would go off and go on. It's something that was going like it was out of control. It wasn't.
I think they did say that, ma'am, that
Yes.
the toilet was running up and
No,
down.
no. I mean the reading. Meter reading is what I'm talking about. The meter reading is going up and down. If you look at the meter reading on the graph that is provided, it goes for a few days and then goes up, and then the thing comes down from, I think from even October or something like that, or February. If you look at the graph, the pink graph, it goes for days and then comes up. What explains that? For days.
Water use explains that.
Water use, sir, water use for the little line like this, and then water would go up. Who's using the water?
Maybe it was a gentleman that was at the home that let our people into your home.
No.
So we don't know, I mean, but we've got, I think, we have enough information here.
Michael, sir, gentleman in my house has been there
Ma'am,
for 10
I
years.
understand, and I'm really trying to make sure that we answer your questions and to answer your concerns that you brought up.
Yes.
But on the other side, we have our employees, we have the state-of-the-art meter system, now that if your water runs 10 gallons more than normal, they know it. And I know, I can validate it. Karen has called me and it dealt with a problem like that with a resident, and she showed me the whole history. And the person didn't know why it was like this. They found out, and this goes back a while ago, that the neighbor was using their water to fill a swimming pool. Right? So, but they knew it. So we have our people that said a gentleman They knocked on the door. A gentleman opened the door to your home and let them in. They went in and saw water falling from the ceiling. You said you have 2 heating systems.
Yes,
It's
sir.
very easy that one of those heating systems wasn't heating enough, the pipes froze, and they burst.
Which pipes,
Okay,
sir?
but what, because they've seen the water, ma'am. That's the thing. If they didn't see the water, and if there was if your receipt that you said you had the plumbing inspected, if that was in February, it would be different, but it was in June. So we're talking about 2 different timeframes, February and June.
Spring.
So
That's not
I
possible, sir.
I don't think that this board has any evidence that there's anything we could do other than what we've done in the past, is to help through the treasurer's office, to help you pay that bill instead of all at once in segments, so that you could pay it, and make it a part of your budget.
Well, but that's not helping me, sir. That's not helping me, because that doesn't help.
But then
It means
again, ma'am,
I'm stuck with
everybody
the
else
bill
in this
because
town has the same process.
I have searched, I have seen there are other people who have problems. I went all over. There's other things that have happened with the new meters. I'm not the only one that has a problem with the meter. If the meter is a
Well,
problem,
do you
let
have the
them
names of
address
those
that.
people that are having problems with their meters?
Excuse me, sir?
You just said other people are having problems with their
Well, I
meters.
think
Do you-
so,
do you
because
ha- No, you said other people are having
No,
problems
I'm
with the meter.
asking, they're saying that no problem is with the meter. Are there no other people who have ever had problem with these meters?
Then
Nobody?
if they did have a problem, they would have been calling our DPW, or the DPW would have, the water department would have known that, and we would have been dealing with it. So we have to keep this not on what somebody else you think had a problem,
no, I
but
don't know.
your problem. Believe me, I'm sitting here trying to come up with a way to do something, but I'm seeing, hearing from our professionals that were there, that they were let into your house. You weren't there, but a gentleman let them in your house. So we have to go by what our employees saw and what the meter backs up.
Oh, so if your employees are telling something that I say is not the truth, I have to bear it, I have to go with it?
You weren't there when our employees were there. They were let in by a man.
He didn't send any, nobody came to the house.
And one thing I'm telling you, if our employees said they were there and they went into your home, there's no way they're going to lie about it.
Employees did not come to my house, sir.
I'm going to side with our employees when they said, with people that have been with this town for a lot of years, this would be the first time, and we've had water bills that were 10 times what yours were, and nobody's ever made the comment that you just made before this board.
What did I do? What did I say?
You said that nobody came there.
Yeah, because I believe nobody came there, I would have known, I would have opened.
So you just validated what I said.
I've not sent anyone, I've not.
Okay. I think we have enough that, we should just.
We have enough. We have Mr.
Listen,
K.
didn't
You got
even
a
read
question?
my this thing.
Go ahead, I'm all.
Mr. K. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
Mr.
just one
Kay.
last question for the water department, Karen.
how
Was this bill, was it at one of the higher tiers, or was it sort of tier 1, or what the standard tier was?
It was pretty much all on the 3rd tier.
Third tier, thank you.
Let me just find the exact usage.
So, go ahead, Mrs. Jakes.
Karen, real quick, so we reached out to them we reached out to the homeowner in February, and I saw that it continued through March and into April. Did we reach out to them again?
We did not reach out to them again. She had come in sporadically throughout that, and I had been talking with her repeatedly about the same problems.
Okay. This is not true. I spoke to this lady twice in my life. I don't know how she says she's talking to me. I went to her office. The first time when I saw this and there was alarm, I went and talked to her. So she asked me to look, and I went and I took almost how long to get the person. When I got it, I came there. She was saying, well, there's nothing, you just have to pay them. If you'd like, you can go check that. I said, town master is which one? Where? That was the only time I spoke with her. I don't know who sporadically she was talking with. I never called her. I went to her office twice. The response I got from her the second time, I could not even go there. Where would I go? Because she would not let me talk. Everybody in the office was that Mrs. Fumble, that 32 strap. She would not let, she sent me there. Where did she talk to me sporadically or whatever word she's using? No, I did not have dialogues with her. She sent me to here, and I went. And after that, I started coming to the office here to ask, what should I do? How can I do what? not with her, never went there again.
Well, thank you very, very much. So I think we have enough information right now. This is not a public hearing, so I don't get an opportunity to ask the audience if they had questions, but it's not a public hearing. So a motion, if there are no further questions to the witnesses, to Karen, to Keith, and Mrs. Fambu, I ask for a motion to close this.
So made.
Yeah.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So, board members, what we have is 150,856 gallons, totaling $2,011.78. We have, on May 12th, Mrs. Fambu received the water bill. On June 10th, Mrs. Fambu came back, this is the second time, came back to the water and sewer, and Karen talked with her on numerous occasions to be helpful. So there's some discrepancies between what Mrs. Fambu believes occurred, like representative actually having access to the house. But what we would like to do is work with her. And I know, Mr. Cavey, this is an area that you really studied, and I think they're Tier 3. How would that look? Maybe this is not the appropriate question for you, but to Karen, if we lowered it to a Tier 2 or Tier 3, how would that reduce the price? We've done that in the past, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Her usage was 20,168 cubic feet. So the first tier goes up to 2,600. The second tier is the next 3,300. So the remaining of that all went through the third tier.
Yeah, so I would just like to say that I'm going to start with, I'm very guilty of this. As I was trying to gather this information and sort of hear everybody out, I think the idea of whether or not somebody was or was not there, or what they saw, I was following that thread, but I think that was not especially useful use of our time, no offense to anybody. But the fact is that the only, as I understand, the only reason the water department shows up at all is because we now have these water meters. The effort is to help homeowners try to locate an issue. It's not to determine whether the water did or did not go through your meter. That we know happened. And so the idea that somebody would lie about that would be a very odd claim to make, because there's no benefit to the town by doing that. Haven't done anything other than try to offer their expertise to help homeowners. And so I think that doesn't really provide any useful information. But I do believe in treating people fairly. I think that it's important that, in cases like this, we have these various tiers. Our general philosophy has been, and we are welcome to change this whenever we want, is that each tier has a different price range. The more water you use, the more expensive it gets per unit. And part of the rationale for that is to disincentivize the overconsumption of water. So for people who use a lot of water, they're going to have to pay a lot more. In cases where it was an inadvertent water leak or something like that, I think we've generally felt like, well, the person who did this, they didn't intend to use a lot of water. It was there was some issue with the plumbing or whatever it might be. And so, it makes sense to not necessarily put them at the highest tier for that. And so the evidence that the water went through the meter, there's no evidence to contradict that. So where it went is, strictly speaking, none of our business. That water now belongs to the homeowner, and they can put it wherever they want. And they can have it in their walls, or they can have it in a bathtub or a pool. That's your business. But the fact is, it did go through the meter. Where you put it was your responsibility. What we can do, though, is acknowledge the fact that it sounds like this was not intentional, and move this down to a tier 1, so that you're not being paid. You don't have to pay it at the higher rate. We've done that in the past. I think we've done it a lot of times. We also tend to remove interest and penalties. I didn't see any, so I don't believe there are any. Are there any interest and penalties?
Yes, there would be.
There are. So, I mean, just to sort of follow the model we've done for as long as I can remember, I do make a motion that we reduce the rate from Tier 3 to Tier 1, and then remove interest and penalties, as well as work with the request that they work with the Treasury Department to work out a payment plan. So that's my motion. I'm not sure if anybody
Thank you,
else
Mr.
agrees with
Cavey. We need a second on that motion so we can discuss it.
Second.
Okay. Second by Mr. Chairman.
And I do have a question.
Okay.
Versus the Tier 3 to Tier 1, which I don't have a problem with, but the penalties and interest as well. I'd probably say that I would support the greater of those two amounts, but not both, on the penalties and interest. I mean, because to your point, the water went through the meter. And I think we have to, we're all water users. Every one of us that have a house, and we pay that. If we don't pay the bill, we get penalties and interest, and that's there because you weren't paying the bill. So that is a totally different issue of the water that went through the meter or, went through the wall and left somewhere else or whatever. But the fact remains is the bill wasn't getting paid. That's why we have the penalties and interest. I'm okay with going to 3 to 1, but not the penalties and interest.
So I'll take that as a
whatever
friendly-
the board wants to do. I hate to throw the wrench in the work, but
What's the value of the interest and penalty?
$42.01.
okay. I'll change my mind for $42. How's that?
Okay.
If I just, we've had huge numbers in the past on those, so, but that changes the game. So, okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Carrera.
This is an awful lot of water. 150,000 gallons, 150.
150. 150,000, right?
I'm not for lowering it to level 1. You want to take the fines and penalties off level 3, that's fine, but this is, we got two gentlemen that we pay, and we're basically saying, you lied, and they didn't.
I'm not saying they lied.
I said thank you.
No, I thank them too, but basically, that's what we're doing, lowering it. They didn't see that much water.
No?
Or she didn't see that much water. I don't believe that for a minute.
I don't either.
You shut the heat off in a raised ranch, it'll freeze up faster than fast. The water goes through that meter to get to those pipes that most of them are, in the year that house is built, down there on that street, they're running along the top of the cement walls. Am I right, Ski? Right. Those walls get cold. That's what pops pipes. But we had such a cold winter, and until the heat came on, that's when the water moved. It might not have moved in every direction, but it might have moved in a place over here. But I guarantee that toilet froze in the bowl. They're lucky it didn't break. It would have drowned the house. I just showed Joe what we get from the water companies. They leave them to show you what a quarter-inch leak and stuff like that. You're talking half-inch pipes that were open or spraying. I believe for a minute something wasn't done there. I can't. I won't vote for that.
Any other? Motion was made and seconded. On the vote. I'll start with Ms. How about Ms. Jakes? Start on this side, on my left.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Carrera.
No.
Mr. Cavey.
Yes.
And I vote yes. So, Mrs. Femble, what we've done, we've heard all of the explanations, the summary. We looked at the data. We heard from you. We've heard from the witnesses. We've heard from staff. This is your first time coming before us with your ask. We've taken all of that in consideration, and we have wanted to negotiate with, it's not a negotiation, it is a recommendation that from the higher tier, which is the higher rate, higher cost of the water usage, down to the lower, and considering the fees and penalty. So you would be responsible for that. Karen, can you, right off the bat, tell us exactly what that number would be, or an approximate? So originally, we were saying it's $2,011.78. That's at a Tier 3. The board just voted in favor, 4-1, to reduce it to a Tier 1.
I don't have
We don't
anything in
have
front of me,
that.
so it would be her usage
It would be
times
her-
$5.21.
Okay. So that's where we are.
And the usage is 20,168,
Yeah.
and times 520? So, for an accountant, I'm very bad with doing math in my head.
I wouldn't even try.
So what are the next steps? Would she see, Gilda, would she see you? Would she go back to seeing you for a payment plan
So,
to pay this amount?
yeah, whatever. So just to be clear, so we're going to a Tier 1 and removing interest and penalty?
Yes.
Okay. So is this going to be a payment plan and no lien?
That's the past practice.
Okay.
I guess we could make a motion if we had to, but I don't think.
We can't hear you with the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think that's been past practice, but if it's you making a phone call to the treasurer's office, and just conveying to them what the
Yeah,
board's vote
that's
was.
normally what, I'll send her an email and I'll send her
Right,
all this and then go from there.
somebody can reach out to the homeowner
Yep.
and explain how it works.
Yes.
Excuse me, I don't understand any of what you guys just said,
Okay.
please. I'm sorry.
What we're doing is, instead of you paying the highest rate for the water usage that you have, and it's going to be about $2,000, okay? And there was penalties and interest we're waiving, like we've done to other people. So everybody's being treated fairly. We're going from Tier 3 to Tier 1. Your bill previous was going to be, Karen, again, was that
$2,011.78.
And what are we going to, roughly? 1,001, something like that?
That's 1,000 coming off, or,
No, that's what her bill would be.
The
Okay.
bill, yeah. So your bill goes from $2,000.73 to $1,000. Okay, so you're getting half, you can only pay half of that bill. And we're going to arrange it with the treasurer's office, so you don't have to come up with $1,000 if you can't. That's up, whatever your financial status, but you can make payments on it and pay it as you go along, instead of having to put $1,000 down. That's the best we can do. We've done that with other people. And, if we just started saying you're not responsible, we wouldn't be able to pay our bills. Nobody would be paying their water bill. So I think that's the best our board can do. Unfortunately, there's not an appeal process or anything like that. So that's the best we can do. So, that's the money you got to pay for using your water. It's not free. So
Yeah, I understand, sir. I've never missed my payment, and I've never...
that's not an issue, ma'am. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Nobody said that you're not paying your bills. Nobody said that. What we're saying is, instead of paying $2,000, you'll pay $1,000. And if you want, you can pay the $1,000 to the treasury all at once, or we're going to allow you to pay smaller payments, so it's easier for you. But if you don't need that, you do whatever you want. How you pay your bill is up to you, but we're giving you some flexibility to do that.
Okay, sir, thank you so much for that, but the thing is, what pains me more is the way I'm being treated. And the fact that Karen can sit here and make a statement that she talks with me over and over tells you that...
Okay, well, ma'am, I don't want to get into that because one of our employees said that you were rude to her too. So we weren't there.
I was rude to...
Ma'am, we weren't there, so we can't take a position on that either way. We weren't there. This decision that's coming down is a very fair, and some people would say very generous, avenue for you, because the water was witnessed by our employees that we have no reason to second guess. They said that they were let in by a man that you said wasn't there, but they walked into your house. They didn't break into it. They didn't go looking for this. So with everything that's here, you have to have the burden of giving us the evidence that says, oh yeah, you're right, you're 100% right. You couldn't do that here. And I think what this
I didn't
board...
know that I had to bring evidence. They should have...
Well, again, I'm going to cut this off now because I think the two of us would sit here till 11 o'clock at night talking about it.
She's not happy with
So,
this at all.
so with that, we took a vote. The vote has been taken, so...
Decision was made.
Right, so we're going to close this part of our consent...
We're moving right along to the next agenda item.
Yes, and that is consent agenda. Ma'am, you're all set. All right, thank you. The consent agenda, items A, approval of the minutes of July 23, 2026, and July 28, 2026. B, the application for use of the electronic bulletin board to notify one polling place location to the Robert G. O'Donnell Middle School, 211 Christian Street, Town Clerk's Office. And C, the Faxon Park permit application on August 22, 2026 for the Redeem the Christian Church of God at 763 Washington Street to use the Faxon Park. Is there anyone who'd like to pull any of those items?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Vice Chair.
Meeting minutes dated Tuesday, July 28th.
Okay. Anybody else? Scott, did you have one?
I had something to add, but I'm gonna let it ride.
Okay. Steve?
I don't believe I was there for the 28th, so I'm going to be abstaining from that vote.
Okay. Lori? Okay. Madam Vice Chair?
Actually, I abstained actually from both of those. I wasn't there for the 23rd or the 28th, so item A, I'll be abstaining.
Okay, you're going to abstain on it?
Yes, please.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, ready? Ready for me, Mr. Chairman?
Go right ahead.
Okay. On July 28th, this is page 3. Page 3, first paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth line from the bottom where it says the speed was 35 miles per hour. Vice Chair, uppercase, the C in chair. Then we turn the page to page 4, same meeting minutes, and it is the bottom paragraph. The first is last paragraph on that page that starts with Mr. Pereira, go down to Vice Chair, so add Roberts into that. And then wordsmith that whole sentence, pointed to the police department, so that needed to be corrected. And that would actually state, Vice Chair Roberts noted the following departments denied the application: Police Department, Building Department, and the Board of Health have denied the application. So that's the change there. And on the same page, the last sentence says minimum of 12 detail. Add the word officers behind that. So minimum of 12 detailed officers. And that's it. That's all I had. Those are the only edits that I have.
Anybody else? Okay. So with those corrections made, Steve?
Abstain from item A, otherwise, yes.
Scott? Yes. Deborah?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
And I vote in favor. So having no more business before the board tonight, I will declare the meeting closed. And it's a little late, so people hopefully be careful going home.
So we need a motion.
Sound got a little wonky. I don't know what's going on. Because it sounds perfect on my computer here. But we had the same issue last night or the other day with the video, the echoing. And it was wonky tonight. Did anyone notice that? Or is it just my phone? Maybe it's my phone. Do you think the sound got a little wonky at the end? It was kind of wonky throughout. Yeah. Fuck. Funny because I have this old computer that I use that's got a cracked screen. I really shouldn't even use it anymore because it's so frustrating. But that thing, when I stream from it, it's friggin' perfect. And this new awesome computer, I have all kinds of issues with. Why I don't have the good mic anymore. I had all kinds of issues with the board. And now I'm having these video issues. What the fuck? Maybe I'll have to use the third computer. Maybe I'll have to bring that one out. I don't know. Something's not working right. Talking about the DA's race earlier today. There's a new story that came out on the money in the race that I think you should check out. I'm gonna post it up. Hold on. It's your homework tonight. I'm gonna give you some homework. This is from Brookline News. It's on my Twitter too. You can find it there on my Twitter. But let's bring it up anyways. It's a Norfolk County DA race. New story just came out. Just came out. I read it. I thought it was a really good story. Inside the Money Shaping Norfolk County's District Attorney Race. It's from Brookline.News. And it's got like all these graphs about how much has been raised, how much has been spent. Adam Deich in the lead, first place, most contributions. He's also spent the most. Second place, Greg Connor. Third place, this is total donations now, keep in mind. Robert Juvenville. The reason he's in third place, Robert Juvenville, is because half the money he donated himself. And then in fourth place in donations is Juna Perkins. And you can see these four campaigns right here. These four campaigns are the ones that have actually raised the most of the money. And then if you go down, it tells you all about who's donating, how much they have. And then it tells you a lot more. It tells you about total contributions from donors outside of Massachusetts. And if you look at it, Adam Deich is like the one. He's got the most money from outside the state. That's most of his money, actually, is from outside of the state. And then you go down, and it tells you a little more. It tells you Juvenville is the one who's funded his campaign with $132,000. The rest of them really haven't funded their campaign, except Greg Connor threw in 25 G's. There's an independent. He threw 3,000 in. This is all minuscule. But, basically the takeaway on this one is that Juvenville has funded his own campaign with 132 G's. Dude, it must be nice to be rich, bro. 132 G's? Wow. That's what he donated to the campaign. And these are the total contributions from attorneys. This is a good one. Greg Connor is leading with contributions from attorneys. Second place on that is Adam Deich. In third place is Robert Juvenville. And in fourth is Juna Perkins again. Then it talks about some of the people who have donated and contributed, which I didn't realize. Adam Deich actually has two contributions from two former U.S. attorneys from Massachusetts, Andrew Lelling, who gave $1,000, and Nathaniel Mendel, who gave $2,000. Perkins has support from a collection of current and former Mass prosecutors, former Middlesex DA Scott Harshberger and Jerry Leone, as well as former Suffolk County District Attorney Ralph Martin, who gave the maximum $2,000, and current Cape and Islands District Attorney Robin Gillibois. He only did 100. And McClellan has a couple like brothers of celebrities that gave. That's funny, actually. One of Mark and Donnie Wahlberg brothers, Bob Wahlberg, donated to his campaign, and the son of the novelist Kurt Vonnegut gave some money. So it's a good story. I think people should check it out. Put the link. You can read up on it if you want to dive in. That's your homework tonight. Oh, let me get the link. I thought I had it. Hold on. Boom. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning for the trial, Clancy. And watching Nan and Brian tomorrow. I'll be watching that tomorrow. And get him back to booking guests too. I got some. We'll have some guests on the show upcoming. So I'll see you tomorrow.